Is it terrible when they scream?
No, it's awesome.
Oh, God. Oh.
I don't like sand.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Not much is known about the man behind the mask.
How do I turn the camera on?
Alright, that's it, everybody. We gotta wrap this up before something really bad happens. We're almost in time square.
Look at those girls.
They're not waving at me, they're waving to Cecil.
Hello. Everybody should remember that the camera adds 300 pounds.
I think that the thing that George never did was maintain the status quo. And I think that that's really important because...
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you!
That one is hands down my favorite. Hello, everyone! Welcome to episode 17 of the Matriarchy. I'm joined by the one and only Jessi Milestone.
What's up, everybody? As you can see, I'm already futzing with my hair, and we haven't even really started the show yet. So it's so long, it's so fluffy right now, it just cannot be tamed. Cannot be tamed.
I wonder what you would look like with long hair.
Horrible. So here's the thing people don't realize, right? My face, yeah, if you want to stick the idea of a wig on me or something like that with big, long, flowing locks, sure, I'm sure it would look delightful. I'm sure it would look super cute, you know. I don't think most people have a face that is, you know, unless it's a really, really small face and you have a lot of long hair and you don't pull it away and it makes your face disappear. You know, most people are worried about having a face for short hair, not long hair so much. The problem and the reason why I'll never do it is this. People don't realize how thick my hair is because, one, it's very short, and two, it's very fine. So the individual strands are very fine, but you can see when I run my hand through it just how much of it is here. There is a lot of hair going on here. So the thing about fine, thick hair, when there's a lot of it, is it does this thing, which is snarl. Snarl repeatedly, snarl over and over again, snarl no matter what you do to it or how you try to tame it. When my hair is this long, it is unmanageably snarl. Over and over again. So I shudder to think what it would be like to try to deal with this at, you know, any longer than that. Plus, women with really long hair, as I learned from knowing a lot of women with really long hair, don't usually wash their hair every day because what an effing nightmare to wash and dry that much hair. Me, my hair and my skin, one of the reasons why it's so delightful all the time, it's also very oily, which means that my hair does need to be washed every single day. So I'm not adding the extra hour to every day that it would take to wash, dry, and brush out this mess if it got much longer.
And plus doing your hair, like curling it, straightening it. You would never
forget about it.
You would do it maybe for like a special occasion, but I don't see you being one of the, like me, that I wake up in the morning and I have to straighten if I want my hair curled. Here's the thing, since my hair is really I wouldn't say it's curly anymore. When I was little, it was really curly. And then it just became these weird kind of cowlicks. And so I have to straighten about this much from my scalp out. And then I can curl the rest of it. But it's not fun. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of patience and maintenance, which I don't see you giving two fucks about.
I mean, look, I don't even put on makeup to live stream or do my videos anymore. I've given up that. I'm like, that's too much effort. The extra, you know, and I do a very simple job that takes me maybe 10 minutes anyway. I'm like, that's too much effort for me. So yeah, the straightening, the brushing, the curling, the styling, you know, the hairspray, all that stuff. And the, you know, endless experimentation it'll take to figure out what actually works and what actually lasts. That's oh god, forget it. My hair, you can take like the strongest hairspray in the world, do a wonderful job, style it, spray it, dump half the bottle on it, do whatever it is. I've had it professionally styled before too, and it lasts. It holds the way they leave it, maximum an hour. After that, no matter what's been put in it, no matter what product's been done to it, it starts to just get a mind of its own again. Still look really good and stuff, but you know, however, you know, usually most people, when you put that much time and energy into your hair and you put the right spray on it, you use the right kind of product, it just holds. It just stays that way, you know, all day for some people if you don't get it wet or mess it up. Mine, like I said, maybe an hour. So forget it.
So I have all this tweeted out now. Oh, echo. So everyone knows that we're live now, so yay. Mighty Hellhound, you got to be one of the weirdest super chatters I've ever had. I can only imagine how pungent Anna's smells are. That's disgusting. Thank you for the $2, though. I mean, I smell like love by Victoria's Secret. Thank you very much. I need to get that sound clipped. But if you haven't been able to tell from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about Star Wars because Star Wars actors and actresses are complaining, which we all said was going to happen. I said so many times, the second their contracts are up, they're going to start talking about the shit that they were put through. Now look at it. I was fucking right. Everyone else that said it, because I know I was not the only one, we were all fucking right. They're all going to start talking about it. John Boyega, Daisy Ridley's crying because she can't get jobs. And I was like, Jessi, did you see that? Did you see that tweet? I'm going to go.
The one she wrote?
No, she didn't have a Twitter.
Sure. No, she's off Twitter. I was like, well, I haven't seen, I've read some of the stuff about it, but I've not seen any tweets regarding.
Let me find it. Okay, so Bounding Into Comics did an article about it because it's like, oh, Daisy Ridley's complaining that she can't get a job and she's not working. And I'm like, bitch got 11 projects lined up. Don't talk to me about not working. Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay. Let me do a little screen share. Okay, so here we go. This is Bounding Into Comics. Daisy Ridley reveals work offers were scarce after Star Wars sequel trilogy concluded. Now, Jessi, why do you think that is?
Because she, from what she demonstrated in Star Wars, didn't do much. Like there's nothing. I actually have a lot of theories as to why that is. There's nothing in Star Wars that sets her apart as an actor. And a lot of that is the fault of the script and the directing. I mean, she wasn't given the opportunity to showcase what she could do. I mean, even when you go back and read about the choreography, when you look at things like, when you listen to what the choreographers said about the film and working with these actors, and you listen to what they said, there seemed to be a lot of enthusiasm on the part of both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver to do these fight scenes. Nothing was asked of them. Daisy Ridley even less so because she didn't have the background. Based on what I've read about her, I wouldn't be surprised if given the opportunity, she would have worked harder, to do more advanced kinds of fights. But it just sucked. This is her big breakout role, and she's pretty much asked to run around and make the same dumb face for hours upon hours upon hours, And I don't think it's fair to necessarily say, based on, again, her first breakout role, what her quality is as an actor or not. But what she certainly has is a very generic look, a very generic type. And right now, you look across Hollywood, Jeff and I were talking about this a little bit last night. There is nothing that she does or can do that another actress that fits in her exact same niche can't already do, but better.
Yeah.
You want to,
it's not that she can't act, because I've seen her in other movies, and like the Murder on the Orient Express. Now, I wasn't very happy with that movie, but I didn't think that she did a bad job.
No, but the thing is, if you look at her, right, and I think that's where Disney did a huge disservice to her as a new actress, coming onto the scene. It's like you wrote out any possible romance, especially because John Boyega definitely has a lot more acting chops than she does, at this stage in her career. If you had actually leaned into that storyline, now we get to watch her in a romantic situation, see how she handles that, see how she handles being this tough chick who has to soften, to be with a man and whatnot. And these are things that for her personally are going to go on her resume, are going to go in her reel. As I said about she's a very impressive resume. You know, she's worked on the three Star Wars movies plus a movie with Kenneth Branagh. It's a great resume, but her reel is dog shit. If you actually want to pull clips, all you get is generic line here, generic line there. And so she doesn't have anything to sort of show for it for all those years of work. And I mean, you want to look across the board. All right, you're going to cast an action movie and you want a petite, pretty brunette. Great, you're going to take Alicia Vikander over Daisy Ridley any day. You want to do a charming...
I don't even think Daisy Ridley's petite. Isn't she like your height? Let me find out.
She's very slight though. She looks... I don't. Maybe she's my height, but she's very like slight. So say if you want that...
She's 5'7". She's tall.
Okay. Folks compare, everyone's talking about you, but say if you want that very slight, very slender, very sort of mousy-ish actress, you got Alicia Vikander does action better than she does. Rose Byrne does comedy better than she does. What's her face?
I think Alicia is maybe a little bit more well known though. That's the thing. Though, I think she would. I don't think Alicia. She might have taken it, but wasn't she filming The Danish Girl when they were filming The Force Awakens?
Probably.
I don't think they would have been able to get her because she's.
Oh no, well, I'm not saying that they would have taken someone else for Star Wars. I'm just saying now she had this opportunity as this unknown person to come in and do Star Wars and be that, but now she's entering a very saturated market, a market that is oversaturated with her type. So I think that actually strengthens my point. You said Alicia Vikander is more well known. I think like what's her face? Who played Jyn Erso. I always blank on her name.
Felicity Jones.
Felicity Jones. I was like, I had the Jones, and I'm listening, and I'm like, it's stuck on Felicia. I'm like, no, it's not that. Felicia. So like Felicity Jones has a very similar type, but then she's done, Theory of Everything. She's done On the Basis of Sex at these more serious, meatier roles. So people do know her. They know a Rose Byrne type. They know a Kerry Russell type. They know an Alicia Vikander type. They know those names all more than they know Daisy Ridley, and she's trying to fill the same niche. And I think it's very difficult because you're put into a situation where it's like, it really is just kind of entitled whining at that point. If you're like, you have these independent projects and these smaller projects lined up that you are working on, and there is people are buying your stock in that level, you're just bitching because you think doing Star Wars entitles you to be this A-list actor and get these direct to offer, Oscar bait movies, and it just fucking doesn't. When has it ever? I mean, look at the history of Star Wars. It's not even what made Harrison Ford. The reason Harrison Ford is the one who went on to have this career is because he never got caught.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean, but he purposely, and he talks about that, like how he hustled to make sure that he kept putting his brand out, that he kept looking for work. He kept looking for these opportunities. Mark Hamill went on to have obviously was very successful in his voiceover, but his career his in front of camera career didn't go anywhere. Carrie Fisher worked and stuff, but she was never this superstar, this super mega star. And that's always been the case. Natalie Portman was already somebody. When you get to the prequels, Hayden Christensen worked, but did not go on to become some megastar because of Star Wars. He certainly didn't do his stock any favors in terms of getting roles. Star Wars has never been a jumping off point for actors. And to expect that just because you ran around a screen and got paid, a big fancy paycheck and billions of people saw your movie, or probably not even billions, millions, hundreds of millions of people saw your movie, that doesn't suddenly entitle you to be A-list. So.
And I just want to say something because I see people in the chat talking about how they would never have Finn and Rey be together because they wanted to please China. Okay, let me tell you why that is not an excuse. You might have not seen this movie. I actually loved this movie when I saw it. So in Cloud Atlas, that has, Tom Hanks. It also has Halle Berry. Guess what? They have a romance between a black character and a white character, and they have children, and that's part of the story. And, one of these little, there is a bit of an echo. In one of these branches of time, which is what Cloud Atlas is about. And I think it was more popular in China than it was in the US. So to use that excuse that, they obviously did it on the posters for Finn. There was a really bad echo, actually. Let's see.
Let me try. I can try headphones on mine end if we need to. I can get up and get them.
But yeah, see, somebody saying Cloud Echo was boring, or Cloud Atlas was boring. You're wrong. It was a fantastic movie if you actually pay attention. Great movie. I loved the movie, but I remember my friends going and seeing Cloud Atlas, and they're like, "Oh, we need to watch it again because it was kind of confusing." So I thoroughly enjoyed Cloud Atlas the first time I watched it. I did not think it was boring. I thought it was, you could follow the story, and it has a great conclusion. But it was popular in China. It made a lot of money in China. So they're not opposed to having, romances between black characters and white characters. That's not an issue. I think the thing that people don't give China enough credit for is that, oh my gosh, just like everyone else, they want good fucking stories. They're not going to eat up this Star Wars shit if it's bad.
Here's what I think. I think that China was just a convenient excuse. I think they were still worried about the stigma about a black man with a white woman in this country.
Yeah,
because because it's an issue. It still is. It still is something that's stigmatized in our country and whatnot. And so I think this, it was just a really convenient excuse to say, oh, it's China. So you wouldn't have to face the fact that what you're doing is pandering to your own audience, your own domestic demographic, because you're worried that too many people are going to find a romance between a black guy and a white woman unpalatable in your own damn country, and have the balls to fucking own up to that, and have the balls to break down that barrier. I mean, it was such an opportunity, really. You set up for it, that was the tenor. That's where things were headed after the first movie. And to me, whether this was a studio decision or whether it was Rian Johnson's decision to ultimately sort of abandon that plot point, it was a cop-out and it was a cowardly move. Whoever's choice it ultimately was, it was completely cowardly.
JJ definitely set it up.
Absolutely. JJ absolutely set it up. That's definitely the direction he was going. So like I said, I'm not positive if it was the studio who swooped in and say, maybe we're not ready for a black guy, white chick, or whether it was Abrams who just, for his own stupid reasons, and it's not necessarily, even if he wasn't thinking about that. That's the stuff everyone right now is all social justice, social justice, social justice. There's a perfect fucking opportunity. I don't understand why his little, fan club isn't holding him more accountable for bitching out of a multi-ethnic relationship. That's the stuff people want to run around and scream and cry, like diversity and representation. When black people have been in movies since for years and years and years and years. You're so worried about just physically putting the numbers of people in the film. Think about how they're being represented. You want to actually care about representation in Hollywood. Great. That is still one of the remaining stigmas. That's a real thing, saying, yeah, let's show an interracial relationship in a major film, specifically black man, white woman. That is the most stigmatized interracial relationship that there is. That I'm even going to get on board with that and say, yes, that is a positive diversity moment. That is a positive moment of progress, and saying, yeah, let's. Well,
it would have been done organically because he crash landed on a planet. Exactly. She was the first man that she met. He was obviously one of the first human men that she spent time with as an adult, where they were working together and he wasn't trying to use her for something. It would have been an organic type of romance, and the way that it was set up in The Force Awakens was organic.
It was very organic. No one's going to have a problem with it. No one's going to be like, oh my God, it was forced. No, Raylo was forced.
We have it with Kylo Ren. That was 100% forced.
Exactly. That was so forced. And look, it's like you wrote yourself, you guys said, which is why I always crack up when people want to be all with their like Star Wars diversity and this. You fucking set yourself up to actually do something right, and you fucking bitched out on it.
Yep. So. Yep. Let me read a couple of these super chats that came in. Neon Wolf, thank you for the super chat. Good evening, ladies. Well, thank you. Raging Rhino, thank you for super chat. What's up, dude? What time is it for you? Why are you awake? Isn't it like 7 a.m.? Hail, ladies. Just sending some love. Hail, John Boyega. Just saying he's made people go crazy. It's hilarious. Thumbs up and cheers. Well, thank you. Yeah, he has. And we're going to get on to him after we are done talking about Daisy. Greg Kirby, thank you for the super chat. Jay-Z is the new Brie Larson. Now, I disagree with that. I don't think she's the new Brie Larson. I think that she says a lot of woke shit. And I don't know if she necessarily means it like, oh, it was hard for me. It's like, bitch, you went to acting school and you lived in one of the richest neighborhoods in London. She's like, oh yeah, I lived in the richest neighborhood, but my house was shitty. I'm like, you went to acting school. Your parents paid for everything. It's the smallest violin in the world. You have a
Right? Let me tell you, as somebody who grew up, as one of the less affluent people, not even as one of the, like not as affluent people in a very affluent area, you're not hurting. There's nothing, you're not fucking suffering because your house isn't the newest one or the nicest one or the prettiest one. Paint was peeling on my house growing up. It was still a big ass house, and I still grew up in, the lap of privilege. I'd never sit here and try to spin some shit about, oh, my suffering and my struggle. Everyone suffers, everyone struggles, but fucking be honest about what you're dealing with, You're not dealing with fucking, oh, my lifestyle. I lived in a anyway. Sorry.
Well, and Bree denies her privilege too, and same thing. They are kind of similar as far as their parents went out of their way to help them do acting and all of that. I think Daisy Ridley actually did go to school there, whereas Brie Larson was homeschooled and just pursued acting of any kind and just was desperately trying to become famous. Whereas Daisy did like theater and did other things, and she started off with smaller roles, but she wasn't a child actress like Brie was. And the stuff that Daisy says in like passive interviews, while it's very out of touch, and it makes me think she's very not self-aware. But what I will say is once she figured out that Star Wars was taken off, well, obviously it's Star Wars, she went and she deleted her social media. And it wasn't because she was bullied. She was never bullied, that we are aware of. She's never claimed that she was bullied. She said that she wanted to keep her life private because she was smart enough to know Star Wars is going to take off. My entire life is going to be on display, and she didn't want that. So she deleted her social media accounts. Brie is the exact opposite.
Exactly.
So I don't give Daisy the bone there.
That's where I'm with you 100%. That Brie Larson's someone who also, so when she gives an interview, about how like, oh, my life changed so much after Room. It was so hard to be the center of attention. And this, I'm calling bullshit, because this is someone who made her mom move her to Hollywood when she was 8, because all she wanted to do was be a star. And all she's ever wanted growing up was to be a star, was to be her little Hillary Duff wannabe musician self and be in the movies and be in this. And now, oh my God, I'm famous. Oh my God, it's so hard to deal with being famous. It's so difficult being me. Oh my God, that to me, she's super out of touch. Daisy Ridley, to me, gets a pass on a lot of things for right now. Now, it's not forever, but she is someone who, like, she had a more traditional path as an actor, where you go out, you study theater. I'm sure if you grow up, and that's the other thing. It's a big difference the way acting is treated in the UK versus here. So if you're in the UK and you're like, I want to be an actor, people don't laugh at you and go, ha ha, it's 1 in a million, kid, good luck, go to Hollywood and chase your dreams, you little snot. They go, all right, great, then train and then study the greats and then go to theater school and theater and this. They take it very seriously. So I'm sure she's had, from what I've read about her, she does have she has a background in training, a certain amount of classical training.
No. My computer just froze, so if I get kicked out, something happened.
Right. Well, I hear you just fine. You're still moving over here on this end, so that's
okay,
good. So she had actually spent time she didn't just move to Hollywood and become a star. She did all the work, and she just happened to get very lucky with this casting. And her life has changed a ton in the past several years. She's probably still reeling from it, even more so now, because this whirlwind that was her life for the past, since the shooting on The Force Awakens is just suddenly abruptly vanished. And the thing is, what I'm sure she wasn't banking on was that this meteoric rise, and of course Star Wars is this huge thing, but that the brand would be so dogged with controversy and really kind of dead right now. So I don't think I think she's in a very interesting spot. I'm curious to see who she becomes after this, because I feel like she's in a place right now where, her life has been turned on its head, and she probably doesn't know what her next step is yet.
All right, let me read a couple of super chats. And everyone, there's over 300 people watching. Please smash the like button. Greatly appreciate it. Mighty Hellhound, I see what you wrote. I'm not going to read it. Thank you for the super chat. If you want to refund that, because I'm not going to read this weird shit, there's a limit to how much I will put up with. But thank you for the $5 super chat. If you want to refund it, contact YouTube, contact your bank, but I'm not reading that. Last Jedi 22, thank you for super chat. Actors are a dime a dozen, except for the very few whose presence still sells tickets. Ridley doesn't sell tickets. She got one big break. Now she has to grind out like thousands of other actors. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And that's something, yeah, I mean, I think that's why it's very telling, work offers. You're in this industry. She's got this, she's signed with one of the top agencies in Los Angeles. She's with UTA, and she expected probably, to get a lot of direct offers. And that's what happens to big stars. You don't go in for auditions anymore. Your agent just negotiates direct offers for you. People reach out and say, we want you. So I think she was expecting that to be this A-lister that people were going after. And the reality is that no, she just has to do it like everyone else is. Yeah, you're known. You got this on your resume. That's cool. You're a known commodity for sure. But it's, it's,
oh my God, my computer keeps freezing. All right, here we go. Hopefully that worked. All right, so let me read these last two, and then let me read these last two. GP Spectre, thank you for the super chat. Have you started mailing your comic yet? So, like it said on the comic campaign, and like I've said over and over again on streams, and I think I've talked about it in videos as well, I am not shipping the comic book. I did the art and I promoted it. Everything else is done through Dynamite. So Dynamite prints it, Dynamite packages it, and Dynamite ships it. So I have absolutely no control over all of that. People have been posting on Twitter and letting me know that they got their comics in and pictures of it. So if you got the signed ones, I believe that those are coming in after everything else. Because I had to sign all of those and then they had to ship it out. Whereas the ones that were not signed, they already had it, so they could just start shipping it. So you should be getting it soon, since everyone else has been posting that they've gotten it. So it's only a matter of time. But thank you for the super chat. And the Mighty Hellhound, thank you for the super chat. My super chat was for Anna. Yes, I know. You weirdo. You weirdo. Stop sending me weird shit. I appreciate the super chat, but I'm not reading that out loud. You can refund if you want. That's fine. I'm not reading that.
Guys, look, if you have a weird kink, that's awesome. Power to you. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Go for it. Think about it all you want in your private time, but just acknowledge that not everyone shares the same interests you do and doesn't necessarily want to hear that.
And then I'll read this last super chat and we'll talk about this for a little bit more and then move on to the next topic. Let's see. Reality check number uno. Thank you for the super chat. In non-Star Wars news, Warner Brothers still has Amber Heard slated to play Mira in the DCEU. Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. But at the same time, I understand. As much as I hate what she did to Johnny Depp, as much as I don't like her as a person, I respect a company for wanting to work with someone based on their ability to act or their ability to do the job, and does not look at their personal life and does not let somebody's personal life affect what they are doing at work, if that makes sense. So in a way, it's kind of like everyone that wanted Johnny Depp to get fired from everything. And Johnny Depp, there was no trial, there was nothing, and they just fired him because they're like, oh, you allegedly did this to your wife, or because you guys are going through a divorce, you allegedly did this, so we're gonna fire you. I don't think that's right. And also, Amber Heard's a shitty fucking person, but you go and look at other actors throughout the history of time. I mean, go look at the way Alfred Hitchcock worked with people, and then look at the difference between the way he interacted with people and then his films. So I say, once you get to work, as long as you don't bring that shit onto the set, I don't think a person's personal life should affect how their job, or, unless they let it affect their job, I don't think it should affect on if they're going to be in a movie or their work. I don't think, even if I don't agree with them, even if I dislike everything that they're doing, unless it's something that they're going to jail for, then I understand. Like everything that happened with Kevin Spacey, I'm like, all right, that shit's, go, if you're going to do shit to kids, go fucking rot in prison. But if she's going to jail for something that she did, that's a completely different story. I don't agree with anything that she's done to Johnny. I hate it. I think she's a fucking cunt. But at the same time, Your personal life and your work life are separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you know what I mean.
Exactly, because I want to just add on to that. People forget Amber Heard wasn't the one on trial. It was the Sun-Times that published the article. She obviously needed to be there as a witness for a lot of things.
Well,
but
she gave them the information.
She wasn't actually the one on trial in this situation. You know, I'm with you. If she goes to trial, if something, you know, via the court of law or even a lawsuit or whatnot determines fault on her, you know, an illegal grounds for her. But I'm with you as well. It's like it kind of goes into, if we're against cancel culture, we're against it, period. You know?
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So it's gotta be both things. You have to enforce fairly. So while the problem is that it's being unfairly enforced based on, you know, politics. So the wrong people are always getting screwed and the right people are always getting a pass. But at the end of the day, it's a very precarious thing to say, well, I support Amber Heard getting fired from her job if I don't support other people getting fired for their jobs for doing things some people find offensive, but not me. You know, because that's at the end of the day, I'm going to follow line more with Anna that it's your personal life is your personal life, your work life is your work life. I think there are grounds to fire her, you know, if it's not the kind of person you want representing your brand. And I do think that would be consistent with what we've seen recently in the media if she did lose her job over that. That said, I don't necessarily think it is the right or correct thing to do.
Yeah, and I see what Cecil said. The Warner Brothers fired Plastic Man actor for tweets he made 10 years ago, but Amber and Ezra get a pass. Same rules for all and no rules. Yeah, and see, that is a huge problem. That's something that I don't agree with at all. If you're going to fire somebody for tweets that they made 10 years ago, well, that's wrong because the tweets that he made 10 years ago, I think that was the one where he was joking about something with the coworker. It was jokes from 10 years ago. I don't know why. Who the fuck is spending time going back 10 years in somebody's thread to pull that up? I would question more the person that found those tweets than anything else. Exactly. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you weirdo? But as far as that, yeah, same rule. I don't know how the story of Ezra Miller choking some woman.
How did it just get buried?
It's because he's LGBTQ+. But then they said it was those people got paid off so fucking fast. Could you imagine if like Johnny Depp was in that situation? He would be blacklisted. He would be in prison. They would be calling for A, B, and C to happen to him. But Ezra Miller gets a pass. It makes absolutely no sense. But again, what people do in their you can go and look at some of the most beloved actors and actresses of all times and just like them on their roles, and then then you see what they've done in real life, and it's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. It becomes like, as much as it's easy to focus in, and it's very easy to condemn Amber Heard for what she did. It is wrong. It's unequivocally wrong. But we become very hypocritical if we want to harp on that and say she should be fired, she should be blacklisted, she should be this, and she should be that. Because the reality is that exactly what you said. If you want to dig into the private lives of most of these celebrities, most people have some sort of dirt, have some sort of skeletons in their closet. Celebrities live a very different kind of life than other people, that leads them to be out of touch with reality, frequently leads them to do and say things and conduct themselves in a way that's not really consistent with what we think of as decency. And if you want to hang someone out to dry for their personal life, across the board, it applies across the board. And I won't go see a movie with Amber Heard in it. You know, I won't put any money towards anything she does. I won't give her the time of day. I won't, and I will make sure people know, you know, if people haven't been following, I'll make sure people know who she is and what she's done before they want to go see a film that she's in. But I'm not going to condemn a studio for making the decision not to fire her when I don't necessarily agree with that blend of personal and
I mean, I would love it if they, you know, fired her and then they hired Emilia Clarke to play Mira.
Oh yeah.
And I think all of the fans that were upset by Game of Thrones would love it. That actually would Aquaman 1 made $1 billion because Jason Momoa had his shirt off. Have Aquaman 2 have Emilia Clarke, a woman that he will actually have chemistry with.
Yeah.
Because the
Oh my
romance
God, yeah.
between him and Amber Heard was so forced.
There wasn't a whole lot.
There was no chemistry.
Yeah. Maybe human. I don't disagree with you, but the whole thing is that, like, you know, she's saying she assaulted him. There's a reason to prosecute. Of course, there's a reason to prosecute there, but at the end of the day, maybe Johnny Depp doesn't want to press charges. And that's between up to them. I just want to be very, very clear. Anna and I do not like Amber Heard. We do not condone what she did in any way. We think she's a disgusting, horrible human for the things that she did. We're just not going to suddenly support cancel culture because it happens to be canceling somebody we don't like. That's disingenuous. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to go and fire everyone for everything that they'd ever done, I mean, could you imagine if social media existed, you know, when Elizabeth Taylor was younger? I mean, do you know all the articles that would be out about her marriages and like her scandal, and then painting her as this, you know, terrible person because she constantly would get married? And, you know, it would very much change the way that you would look at these classic actors and actresses from, you know, decades ago that are beloved now. But if you actually if they actually had probing stuff like Twitter or Instagram and they were posting on this back then, they wouldn't be beloved actors and actresses. So again, I don't like Amber Heard. Just like Jessi said, I don't like her. I think everything that she did to Johnny Depp was 100% fucking wrong. I disavow all of it. When I heard the first rumors that he beat her and I saw the pictures of her bruises, I'm like, that's fucking fake. If Johnny Depp was a wife beater, we would have heard about it from all of the other fucking women he's had relationships with that are all coming out and saying that's a lie. Exactly. But yeah, I don't think that somebody deserves to get fired because of their personal life. If they are fucked up, and if they bring that shit to the workplace, then they're fired. And I mean, I remember when, you know, this kind of like, this honestly reminds me of high school. It's like when you know all of the rumors and all the drama going on between people in your high school, but then you guys are stuck in physics class together and you get put on a project together. It's like you still have to work with that person. Doesn't matter all the stuff that you know about them. It's whether or not are they going to affect your grade in this. If they're good at, maybe they're good at math and you're not good at math, but you can build the science experiment. You know how to physically do it. They can do everything on paper and they show up, they do their job. Okay. It has nothing to do with what they do in their personal life, but when their personal life spills into their work, that's when you have an issue.
Hell, I've had to, in refereeing, I've had to work directly. I've had to, you know, share assignments with people who have pointedly, who I have proved went out of their ways to intentionally try to sabotage my reffing career for no reason. And the thing was like demonstrable. They weren't, whether or not they should have been fired, they were not. And at the end of the day, I had to fucking work with them. And it sucks, but it's the reality. And at the end of the day, what a lot of people are saying in here is right, is, you know, they're going to basically vote with their wallets. They're just not going to go see something that she's in. That's exactly right, you know, because then Warner Brothers realizes there's no market for this woman because of the shit she does. And then they don't hire her. You know, they take her off the project and don't hire her for future projects, etc. Because the audience has made it clear that they don't condone or want to support this, and that's the way to do things. But not to, you know, if they just go ahead, because again, there has not been any charges pressed against Amber Heard. And you can still, I'm sure there's probably some wackadoodles out there who are completely on her side and think that Johnny Depp's making everything up. And unless you have a lot of hard evidence, there's always going to be people on both sides of things. And you can't, no matter how strongly we feel one way or another, can't say with 100% conviction that it is one way or is not. And therefore, firing Amber Heard over allegations is no different than firing Johnny Depp over allegations. At the end of the day, even though, you know, we've gotten all these details from this other trial and whatnot, and that's the Green Lady says if he has the hard evidence, then it is up to him to present it and press charges.
And I would just like to say, if you guys want to talk more about this and follow any of it, that Umbrella guy does, you know, he does updates on any piece of news that comes out about these court cases. If you want to go follow all of that, he actually goes through in his videos and reads the documents that they are presenting in court. So if you want all of the details on this case, go watch that Umbrella guy's channel, and he's got all of the information there. That's how I have been keeping up with the trial, because of his coverage of it, because I didn't feel necessarily like this was something that I was going to be following on my channel. But Tug does a great job of it. Go watch that Umbrella Guys coverage of it, and I think that's all I will say about it. More because it's gonna be beating a dead horse at this point.
Exactly.
I think Jessi and I have said everything, but let me come back to this, and then we will wrap up this topic and move on to our second topic. But yeah, Daisy Ridley reveals work offers were scarce after Star Wars sequel trilogy concluded. Now, I came in and I said, because I went and I looked, and I'm like, well, let's check out Daisy's IMDb, and of course my screen is freezing. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're still moving. I can hear you.
It's honestly StreamYards, because whenever it's a popular streaming time, it always tweaks out. And of course, it starts working the second we go off air. But so I said, because I looked at her IMDb, so let's pull up this picture, my little screenshot. And I said, okay, so since The Rise of Skywalker, she was a narrator for The Dawn of Art, and it's a video game, and then 12 Minutes, and it's another video game. So she's done 2 voiceovers, and then she has upcoming projects, 11 upcoming projects. And again, she's only acted in 29 things because she's new to this. It's new. Just because you were in Star Wars, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's going to catapult your career. It takes fucking time. And that was honestly one of the biggest pet peeves of mine when I saw this. I'm like, yes, you were in Star Wars. That was it happens overnight. All of a sudden you're famous. But since that, you still need to work. Not everything is going to be handed to you on a silver platter. You're not Daniel Day-Lewis yet. You're not to that point where people just come up and you get your pick of everything because you're one of the best actors in the world. No, you're not Daniel Day-Lewis. You're not getting it on a silver platter. You don't get your pick of the litter. You still have to work for this. You are still in the beginning of your career. Now, later on in life, you might get to that point. If you're lucky, you might. And if you put the fucking work in like he did, you might get to Daniel Day-Lewis's status. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. But 11 upcoming projects doesn't seem to me like somebody that's out of work. And also, in fucking Corona, the fact that you're getting voice actor jobs when every single actor is out there trying to do something, that's not bad.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Someone on my channel last night says she's got a good voice. She can narrate nature documentaries.
Yeah, she's got a very pleasant voice. And one of the things about Americans like to hear accents. We like British accents and we like Australian accents. And me, I like Portuguese and Spanish accents. I think they're schmexy. But like Antonio Banderas.
God, Antonio Banderas.
Where's Jessi? Did you see my doll?
No. Oh wait, you showed me. I haven't seen it since I came in. You showed me that you were getting it. But
my Zorro doll. I'll pull it up in a little bit. But so this is what I said. 2 voice jobs and 11 upcoming projects doesn't seem to be bad or struggle to me. I think what she means is she wasn't in demand for high-profile roles like she thought she'd be. Smallest violin in the world for the poor working millionaire. Exactly. She's working during COVID. Come on.
She's working. She's not hurting for cash. You know, at what point do you stop and smell the roses? At what point do you count? At what point do you be grateful? You know, I think that's something that's so missing from the world today in every facet. It's like you can acknowledge that there are things you want to change about your life or the world while still being grateful for the things you have. And people forget that. They act like, oh, just because I'm out here crusading for justice or trying to get things better or poor me, things didn't work out. I didn't get handed all the things I wanted to, you know, that you can be dissatisfied and be grateful. You know, you can work towards bettering yourself, your life, the world, whatever, and still be grateful. You know, I talk about that when people talk about race and whatnot. Are there ways we can improve as a society to be more sensitive to each other's differences? Certainly. Have we come a long effing way since civil rights in the 60s? Absolutely. You know, and you can have both of those things. And without both, without the gratitude factor, what happens is you're never satisfied. And Daisy Ridley, if she wants to lean into this and keep doing interviews about poor me, I'm not the superstar all-star that I should be after doing Star Wars, then that's going to affect her brand. People are going to hear that. People who want to work with her are going to be turned off by her entitlement. You know, whereas if she came out and said, I'm so grateful for having the opportunity to be on Star Wars, I'm just excited for what's next. Put herself, you know, presented her brand in a different way, maybe she'd find that the situation was different.
And let's actually go look at these roles, because when I think of somebody that can't get work, I think of no upcoming jobs. None. But 11, you've done 2 since The Rise of Skywalker. which I'm assuming she got paid for. She also did that Ophelia movie, which I think was after The Last Jedi, which was, I mean, you got to work with Clive Owen, so lucky you, chick. But
yeah.
let me go back to this. So yeah, so we have here's Daisy Ridley. I think she looks nice right there. That was before Star Wars, though. I don't know what she's thinking with this outfit, but
God, that is
it looks
not
like she's Annie all grown up.
It totally does. Oh my God.
Well, it's like when girls have a lot of freckles and they put makeup and they don't have freckles, so you don't know that they have freckles. And then they wipe out their makeup and like, oh shit, you have freckles.
She looks like Lindsay Lohan's evil twin.
Oh my God. Let's go see. Okay. It's different on your phone than it is on here. Okay, so let's see. Where's Rise of Skywalker? Star Wars Forces of Destiny, Rise of the Resistance, Rise of Skywalker. Okay, so she's actually done more. Star Wars, or The Dawn of Art narrator, 12 minutes. Chaos Walking. This is post-production, so that's a movie. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, so she's voicing Rey again. Asteroid Hunters, documentary short, and she's the narrator. The Inventor, and so she is she's a character. Kolma, I guess that's a movie, and then a woman of no importance, and she's Virginia Hall. So she's been acting. Let's actually go. Okay,
she's cast right there. I mean, she's cast in 2 upcoming pictures.
Yeah, so don't tell me. Let's go because I want to kind of see what this one is. A story of an American spy, Virginia Hall, who worked for British intelligence during World War II. That actually sounds really good.
It does, and she she's the lead character.
She's the only one cast in this movie.
She is. Clearly, this is a direct to offer situation. Clearly, this is this is exactly what she wants. You know, she's sitting here bitching. This is literally everything she could want. This is, you know, was this a writer based on the book by? Okay, so clearly, all they have for this project so far is somebody took this original book, A Woman of No Importance, pitched it to the studio and says, we see Daisy Ridley playing the lead. And the studio says, we're on board. The studio has bought the rights to this and they've signed on. They have Daisy Ridley basically signed on for this project. So that's exactly what you effing want. You know, what are you going to cry?
It's
because
based on a true story. This is probably going to be the best movie Daisy Ridley does.
You're playing an historical figure direct to offer on a project that's not even in pre-production yet. Shut your fucking mouth. This is everything you fucking wanted. So shut your stupid whiny mouth and quit complaining.
This sounds like a really good movie.
It does. Actually sounds really interesting.
I know. So Virginia Hall, codename Mary and Diane, was an American who worked with the United Kingdom, Palestine Special Operations, and American Office Strategic Services in France during World War II. The purpose of the SOE and the OSS was conducted espionage, sabotage, and resistance in occupied Europe against the Axis powers, especially Nazi Germany. So she's going to be a secret agent infiltrating Nazi Germany. That sounds like a great fucking movie. Why is she complaining?
What are you?
And it's based on a true story. I don't want to know if this chick dies or not. I don't want to know what happens. I don't want to know anything else. They don't even have a director yet. It's just they're doing this exactly. This is on a silver platter. They literally are making this movie for her.
This is
and
she wants.
This sounds like a great movie.
It does. It absolutely does. So.
And I saw somebody say another World War II movie. They are always going to be making World War II movies because that's a fascinating time period to go and, you know, and to dive into. It's a terrifying time period, but I think because of the severity of the situation that was going on, it helps people, you know, how you're invested in it. Like you care for those characters immediately because, oh, it's like, when are they? What time period are they? Oh, Nazi Germany. It's like, oh, fuck. You know, if they make one mistake, they're gonna fucking die. So it adds that severity to it. It adds that, you know, that element of
right from the get-go. Yeah,
exactly. So, and yeah, Chris is right. World War II sells. It does. And I mean, I don't think they've. This is terrible. You know, it sucks what it is. Oh, and I had to explain what war. So my stepdaughter didn't know what a Nazi was, and I kind of she didn't know who Hitler was.
Oh, that's.
I'm sure that she knew, but she just forgot. But I was explaining something to her about a movie, and she didn't know what that was. And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be the one to have to tell you what happened." I don't want to explain that to you. So that's one movie. So we already that seems like a great movie. Don't complain. Let's see, what is this one? Colma.
She's playing the title character as well.
A remarried widow is given an unusual offer to relive her first love as the end of her life draws closer.
Sounds it says right there, fantasy. Another.
Henry Cavill is her first love. I'm watching this movie opening night.
Yeah, this sounds like another. Right now, all you have on it is writers.
They don't have a director. It's literally just her. Mm-hmm. This is a movie made for her.
So what are you bitching about? You know, there's two upcoming movies that seem like
one's a dramatic. Probably it's going to be like if this sounds like one of those movies, you know, when it says Oscar bait. I think that's this is going to be her romance movie. Okay, this is voice. This is in post production, so let's see. There might be more information on this. Okay, so Chaos Walking, a dystopian world where there are no women, and all living creatures can hear each other's thoughts in a stream of images, words, and sounds called noise.
Sounds bizarre.
There's no women, so she's going to be the only woman in this cast. So Tom Holland, I can never pronounce his last name. Nick Jonas. Oh, well, this is a lady. Cynthia.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have... You have four big names right off the top. She's going to be the leading lady in this. Oh, there's photos. Let's look at this. Why is she complaining?
What is she bitching about? I don't.
Well, I'd be complaining if I had to be in that wig, but
seriously, and this was something. It's done. So this is something she was working. When did that interview come out where she was talking about the not having the offers and whatnot?
Like a few days ago.
This is already fucking done. Shut up. How many movies a year do you want to fucking do? Most actors do maybe one. If working actors who are working reliably, if they're lucky, are doing a movie a year. You already have since Star Wars, you've finished shooting another film, and you have 2 more announced, and you've done voices in a million other things. What more do you effing want? What more do you want? How? At what point?
None of those sounded like bad movies. I don't know why she's complaining.
No.
Okay, so one, you get to be a leading lady in a spy movie where you are a secret agent against the Nazis. Okay, yeah. And if that's got the right director and that's a dramatic role, you might be up for an Oscar. Colma, which is going to be, that might be one of those dramatic where it's got romance in it. Maybe it's going to be the Titanic-esque kind of thing where it's sad. You know it's going to be sad, but there's romance in it. And you probably are going to get a make out with the hot dude. Why are you complaining? And then the next one, you're in a movie with Hannibal Lecter and Spider-Man and the Jonas Brother. Why are you complaining?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I'm utterly mystified.
God. Yeah, so this whole shit, I'm even madder now that I know more information about it. What the fuck?
That pisses me off so much. How much more? I'm kind of like going back on some of the stuff we said earlier about the entitlement. It's like, well, there's the entitlement. Your entitlement showing, Daisy. You might want to see to that.
Very much so. Also, we have over 465 people watching. Please smash the like button. It would really be kind of you. And with that, I'm going to bring over this article. So, Jessi, did you didn't read this, did you?
No, I have not. I've seen everyone talking about it. I've heard sort of what the buzz is about, but I have not actually gotten.
I did a video on it earlier, except I covered Ichibaka's article. So this is from Disney. Star Wars is dumb, and this is it just kind of goes over all of the Star Wars stuff that John Boyega talks about. So if you guys want to read this, you can go on to Ichibaka's. I think because you are so much better reading aloud than I am, I'm going to have you read the long article.
You got it. All right.
But let me see if there's any super chats that I missed before we get into this next topic. But basically, Daisy has no room to complain. She's got some films lined up that sound pretty good. And smallest violin in the world for the poor working millionaire. Smallest violin. Let's see. Reality check numero uno. Thank you for super chat. In non-Star Wars news, Warner Brothers still. Oh yeah, I think I read that, the Amber Heard one. Greg Kirby. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you don't get sued for the title Vampirella. Why on earth would I get sued? Dynamite owns Vampirella, and they hired me to do it.
This is a This is a licensed. Anna worked on a licensed Vampirella comic. She didn't just decide to draw a Vampirella.
I didn't. Cover. And also, in 2013, they changed the rules on fan art. So, I mean, I wasn't buying Vampirella comics and printing out my own cover and posting it on it.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so confused. Do people not read the campaign? Dynamite owns it. They asked me, hey, do you want to come and do a cover? And I said yes. And we agreed upon, what the contracts and the everything on that would be. And I did it. I promoted it. And now they are printing and shipping. And I don't know why this is a hard concept for people, but I don't know why on earth anyone would think I would get sued for that. But I would just say, if any concerns that you have, go and read the campaign. And that, I don't know what else I could say about that. But thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, and that's something just you'll notice too if you go and look at Jeff's book Stealing Solo. There's a reason why the name Han Solo never appears in it. The name Star Wars never appears in it. You'll notice stuff from creators who are savvy about their copyright. You'll notice that if we're reproducing licenses, so even with something like Anna's work, you don't see her painting like Qui-Gon over the front of the painting, right? We as people who appreciate and like to dabble in the circles of existing IPs, we are all very read up on what our permissions are when it comes to either reproducing, recreating, or monetizing works that may or may not be attached to a copywritten IP. So,
and also, like I was saying, back in 2013, they changed the rules on fan art. That's why you go to any type of convention. You just go look on Etsy. You go look at any internet store. You're gonna see like Disney princesses. You're gonna see superheroes. You're gonna see Star Wars characters. You're gonna see well-known characters. But the thing about that is because you can do fan art and you sell it, and obviously, everyone knows you don't own it. That's your take on it, and it's legal to sell it. They can choose to what limits they want to, pursue you, and if they want to, take you to court over it, most likely because of the laws in the United States. If it's fan art, it depends on who your lawyer is and what exactly you are recreating. But and it's very. I can go on about the copyright system for a long time. Basically, fan art is 100% legal to do. That's why when I do my paintings and my prints, I'm not selling a picture that Disney owns. I'm selling a picture of a painting that I did, and it's fan art of a character that I like. I'm not taking licensed product from Disney and then selling it as my own. That's when you're going to get in trouble. Yep. So if that helps people understand a little bit about that. And Shadow Warchild, it's another aspect of fair use. So that is a thing. And honestly, companies do tend to, I know that, Marvel doesn't mind because it's free promotion for them. If more people are drawing pictures of Wolverine or Spider-Man and it's getting people talking about it in a positive way, and everyone obviously knows that that's an artist that drew it, it's not licensed from Marvel, then you're free to do it. But then also one of the things you have to be careful about, there is this one artist, he loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He fucking loved them. He would do this intense concept art and 3D modeling with Photoshop and photo bashing to make it look like this is what a Ninja Turtle would look like if it was real, and they ripped off his designs for the movie. Ooh. And because it was fan art, you can't write them on that. It's not your character. And one of my teachers in college did fan art of Star Wars, and they ripped him off The cover of Battlefront 2, when Luke Skywalker's staring up at the AT-AT, that was based on my teacher's design from college. They 100% ripped off his design, but guess what? He can't sue them or do anything because it was fan art. So that's where you have to be careful. Now, me, I specialize in portraiture. And, well, that's my favorite thing to do, is do portraits. And so when I do it, it's like, okay, I'm doing my version or a recreation of something that already exists and giving my own take and using my own color scheme on it. It's not like I did this intense world building and composition and all that and they ripped me off. It's like, no, it's just a picture of somebody's face that I just wanted to paint and do my own color scheme and rendition of it. So it's different. I know that this is boring as hell to some people, but just to cover that base. And then let me read the next super chat. Tabara Petties, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Anna and Jessi. I just want to say that you ladies are awesome. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Reality check numero uno. Thank you for super chat. Yes, John Boyega all day and tomorrow. We got a John Boyega fan in the house.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I am actually going to go run and go pee because I've drank about half of this and my bladder is really a little. So I will be right back. You want to talk for a minute while I go?
I just noticed here, because I saw someone's an emoji pop up and it's slave Anna, and I was like, well, I gotta see this now. So I'm seeing, I guess these are your custom emojis. I dipped over to our open the other window to see I gotta get this shit for my channel. This is awesome. You guys get custom emojis, custom Anna emojis. That's pretty dope. I should become a member of Anna's channel so I can use her custom emojis. But yeah, I guess we're just enjoying this, me and John Boyega just having a meaningful moment, staring meaningfully into each other's eyes. It's not uncomfortable at all. I don't feel like he's judging me. I don't feel like he's looking down on me. I don't feel like he's trying to, I don't know, what is he doing in this shot? That's something that's interesting though. I just think it's so entertaining. You see, love John Boyega, hate John Boyega, be amused by him, be not amused by him. He's talented. He is talented. That was something I noticed. I've talked about this. I've mentioned this before. I had a friend do his sort of a re-edit with a commentary on The Force Awakens, and so the volume was either down or off for a lot of the film itself. It's the only reason I've ever seen any part of that movie more than once. But while it was going, I noticed, because I'm watching John Boyega and Daisy Ridley have their little scenes together, and it's, if you really want to judge an actor based on their specific on their work, on their just raw who they are, how they showed up to on the scene, watch their scenes with the sound off. Sorry, I just got off on a tangent because I've got John Boyega staring into my soul here. So I was talking about how, say what you want about him. He is a good actor. In my opinion, I said, if you really want to know, the quality, turn the sound off and see what they do. That's one fun thing you did with Keanu Reeves. Actually, it's really fun because Keanu Reeves has a very specific voice and a very specific cadence, and that doesn't change whether he's Ted, John Constantine, Neo, or John Wick, or Shakespeare. In a Shakespeare, doing Shakespeare in a Kenneth Branagh's As You Like It, which is hilarious because he's also Denzel Washington's brother biologically, and that's not explained. It's a great, Kenneth Branagh's Shakespeare's are a lot of fun because they're very faithful to the source material. He just sort of lifts from the script, but he also breathes a lot of life into it. If you've never seen any of his, he does an Othello one, he does As You Like It. I digress, but yeah, if you watch Much Not As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing. Thank you, Emily L, for that correction. Yes, Much Ado About Nothing. Totally different.
I would love to see, because I know you just said it like with Keanu Reeves' voice, I would love to see him in the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, dude, he'd be perfect.
I want to see Quentin give him the intense like monologue or like dialogue between him and a villain, and then just like the shootout scene or like the katana scene.
Oh, God, it should be him with like a villain that has like a British accent or something really refined, like a Tom Hiddleston. Yeah. So it's like, I am an FBI agent. Oh, are you? I'm going to subjugate humanity.
Oh, let me bring this up. Did you know that Keanu Reeves has a comic book out right now?
I did not know that.
Oh, let me tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah, Lukov, it's Much Ado About Nothing. It's a fun one. But yeah, if you turn the volume off on that one too, you'll see it's really just the voice that make people think that Keanu Reeves is limited as an actor. If you watch, he has a full range of facial expressions. He's very invested. He's very engaged. It's all like there.
Peaches right here. I was scrolling and I was like, "What the?" I was like, "When did Peaches get that shirt?" I'm like, "What's he doing on Twitter?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's Keanu." He looks so much, or Keanu is so much like him right now, except he needs to get a little tanner and bulk up a little bit. But let's see. Let me see. So yeah, Keanu Reeves has a comic right now.
Whoa.
So it actually, Ethan was live streaming earlier. It just passed Cyberfrog Wreck Planet on how much it made in 24 hours. But so John actually pointed this out on the Jack Show, I believe. So if you back this, you know, you're expecting you pay for this, you're going to get it. The shipping prices are outrageous, but actually what's going to happen is the comic book stores are going to get it first, and then you are getting like separate printings of it. I think John explained it much better than I did. But so you're getting one, they're going to ship one out to you after it's already released in stores. You're going to have to pay the shipping for that. Then you're going to get book 2. After it's released in stores, then they're going to ship it to you, and then you're going to get book 3. And it's like over $100 to ship to Australia.
Wow.
For one book.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I don't know what I've asked, and I still have not received an answer, but I don't know what the issue is with Kickstarter. Maybe it's like a political thing. I know that they don't really like people in CG. I don't know all of the aspects of it, but and see, the one that I was tempted to do was, I think there was one where Keanu actually signs it. And I was like, I kind of want to get that one. But then once John explained all of the shipping stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't want to get it now. Yeah, if I can just go to the store and get it, then I don't want to do that. Right. But especially before this comes out. And also, I don't know who did this. I need to see a picture of this actress, but this is a very strange nose.
Uh-huh.
It just bothers me to no end. I like that they tried to do like more of a Drew Sturzan look, especially with the poster, because he's one of the greatest poster artists of all time. But so yeah, Keanu does have a Kickstarter out.
Is Ethan pissed off that this is gonna surpass him?
No, it just made him have a new goal to beat for a next campaign. He said he wants yeah, so that's kind of what they do. They see whichever campaign does the best, and then they try to beat it the next time they do a campaign. So now when he does, what is his name? Rainbow Brute, he's going to try to beat this in the first 24 hours. So
nice.
But yeah, so this is Keanu Reeves' comic book. And he's actually like in the, see?
Comics are awesome.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in it, and he's doing this.
All right.
Which was genius, having him be the person that does that.
Well, of course. Sounds like, I mean, if he's pegged as if he's slated as the creator, then this was his idea, and he just got together some other comic people to bring it to life. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. I'm excited now. I got it open. I'm going to back it after this. Maybe. Well, I'll see. I'll look into it and ask you more. I may still want to back it just because.
Oh, okay, Slick Rick. I didn't know that ban from Kickstarter. See, I didn't know all of this beginning CG stuff. I only know basically what's happened in the past year and a half. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I knew it had something to do with politics and them not liking CG products, but I don't know any of the details. You'd have to ask John or
Gotcha.
John or Ethan about it. But Jessi, are you ready for story time?
I am so ready.
Okay, do you want to read this?
You got it. All right, John Boyega. I am the only cast member whose experience of Star Wars was based on their race. All right.
And let me zoom into this so you can see it.
Thank you.
Oh, wrong screen that I'm zooming into.
My reading abilities might be all right, but my eyesight's garbage. So,
okay.
During Britain's... No, we don't need that. Okay, cool. If you really want to know what shaped John Boyega's attitude to high-pressure situations, if you want the creation myth that perhaps explains why he reacts the way he does when he is cornered or challenged or merely required to stand up and be counted, then you probably need to know about the time he was stranded at sea in Nigeria. Okay. It was 8 years ago now, in the soupy, gray-skied heat of the country's 2012 rainy season. He was 20 years old, fresh from his film debut in Attack the Block, and back in his ancestral motherland to appear in the screen adaptation of, holy crap, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's novel, Half of a Yellow Sun. What an effing name.
I know.
He was, in other words, not yet the John Boyega he is now. Not the performer coveted by directors as varied as J.J. Abrams, Catherine Bigelow, and Steve McQueen, but he was well on his way. And it was around this time that, following a catalog of filming-related calamities, a protective plug getting accidentally lodged in his ear during an action scene, a frantic dash to find something approximating a specialist doctor to aid its careful removal, a driver depositing him in an unfamiliar dock so he could make his way back to set, Boyega found himself stumbling aboard the wrong commuter vessel. Oh. Wow, I did not know any of this.
I didn't know any of it either until this came up.
It was only meant to be a 45-minute journey, scudding slowly out from the port city of Calabar to the production hub in a nearby riverside outpost called Creektown. But then, suddenly, out in the water, the boatman cut the engine and turned his attention to Boyega. Whether it was something in Boyega's demeanor or his Western dress, this enterprising captain, in a country where a degree of cheerful extortion is generally a daily fact of life, set it on an opportunity to make some cash. So he laid it out simply. If Boyega wanted him to start the engine again, then he needed to hand over some more money. Fast. Here, miles away from a camera craft services table, the actor found himself involved in the sort of damp-browed, character-defining standoff that is the hallmark of any great thriller. Yeah, when is this going to get made into a movie? Seriously.
I know.
I'm like at the edge of my seat just reading this. I like that quote up there. I'm assuming it. I felt very fearful, says Boyega, remembering the expectant glances of the other passengers, the lapping sound of the water, the tense sway of the becalmed boat. But I think it was the first time that I went into fight or flight mode and was just like, okay, well, both of us are going to die today then, because I'm definitely not going to back down. I told him, I'm going to pay you the money that's owed, but we'll both be dying in the sea here if you think I'm going to go out like this, or that you can get more from me. Damn straight, man. A+, good for you.
I know this has nothing to do with it, but I got an email saying, oh, you might like this.
Uh-huh.
It's a Darth Vader statue that's the same height as me, and it's really depressing. Because it shows it next to a regular size human, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my height.
You need this. You need this in your life.
$2,000, Jessi. Let me show you guys.
Oh my God.
This is my height.
That's incredible.
I just opened the email and I was like, I fucking hate you right now, Sideshow. Thank you for reminding me I'm a freaking midget.
Wait, that can't be your height. That's at 46 point something inches tall. You're more than 4 feet.
But it has a stand. So it doesn't
okay.
You know.
So with the stand, it's your height.
With the stand, it's my height.
That's depressing.
It's very depressing, but let's continue.
All right. Would you scroll down for me, love?
Mm-mm.
No, unacceptable. I just have to make up the rest of the article.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it did not come to a physical confrontation in two watery graves in the Atlantic after 15 minutes or so of noisy back and forth. Read that wrong. Of course, it did not come to a physical confrontation in two watery graves in the Atlantic. After 15 minutes or so of noisy back and forth, Boyega heard the approaching growl of a police boat manned by AK-47 toting officers sent by the film's production staff to look for him. History sadly does not record just how quickly the boat's would-be hostage takers soiled his pants. But the point of this skillfully relayed, typically Boyega-ish story is not really its dramatic resolution. No, it is the conduct of its protagonist. It is the fact that alongside the other tales he will tell me about a childhood punctuated by incidents of racism and police profiling, about how when he first went to Nigeria as a 10-year-old, he witnessed his uncle slaughtering a cow and fought the shiver down his spine to help have buckets of still warm blood. Ugh. It is offered up to better illuminate exactly what this 28-year-old has been through and what he is made of. It is part of the accumulative origin story that as he faces a Star Wars free future for the first time in 6 years and takes a lead role in the BBC's forthcoming Windrush generation saga Small Axe, is animating his choices both on screen and off it. Wait, that's a cool shirt. And it is ultimately one way to obliquely explain exactly what happened at the Black Lives Matter protest in London on the 3rd of June, when Boyega was handed a megaphone with little warning and ended up indelibly writing his name into the history of the racial justice movement that will come to define this year as much as COVID-19 and interminable Zoom quizzes. The plan on that overcast, emotionally charged day in London, he notes with a wry smile, had been for him to protest quietly. Energized but not fully sated by the online debate that had followed George Floyd's death, he and his older sister Grace pulled on their masks, hopped in an Uber, and spent 3 hours mingling anonymously with the thousands of protesters flowing towards Hyde Park. Then, after they had arrived, Boyega reconnected with the BLM organizers he had been in touch with on Instagram earlier that week. Would he be willing, the organizers wondered, to climb up an improvised stepladder dais and say a few words to the crowd while they waited for the next scheduled speaker? Reasonable ask. Though widely shared... Yeah.
I was going to say that quote, it didn't have... They, like, pick, like, certain quotes and then make them the headline, and then the paragraph under it has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. They usually hit the quote somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though widely shared now, one Twitter clip has been viewed 3.6 million times. What happened next still has the power to quicken the pulse. For almost 5 minutes, Boyega, sounding every inch the literal son of a preacher, rallies the crowd with a visceral, personal, and profane account of what it's like to be black in the same societies that gave us the barbaric deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Stephen Lawrence, and countless others like them. I need you guys to understand how painful this shit is, he tells the mass of raised fists and camera phones, his voice cracking. I need you to understand how painful it is to be reminded every day that your race means nothing. That isn't the case anymore. That is never the case anymore. Voices whip and spur him on. We're a physical representation of our support for George Floyd. We're a physical representation of our support for Sandra Bland, for Stephen Lawrence, for Mark Duggan. His anger, of course, screaming himself hoarse as a pro wrestling heel and letting emotions spring from him like a burst pipe. Or he is angry, of course, yeah. But it is almost transgressive, but he is almost transgressively vulnerable too. Open and tearful and scared in a way that black men, and incredibly famous black men at that, are rarely seen publicly. For Steve Mcqueen, the Oscar-winning director who cast Boyega in Small Axe, this was the most striking aspect of his speech. Quote, I think of myself as a warrior because I'm all about battles, but all of a sudden it was like he had just taken off his armor and said, here it is, he tells me over the phone. It was kind of frightening in a way. You're thinking, get your sword up, but there's strength and vulnerability in being naked. He shone very brightly, and I rang him a few days after to say thank you. End quote. Boyega himself stresses there was nothing planned or calculated about the speech. Its sentiment and delivery was something he had been building towards. I feel like, especially as celebrities, we have to talk through this filter of professionalism and emotional intelligence, he said. Sometimes you just need to be mad. You need to lay down what is on your mind. Sometimes you don't have enough time to play the game. The rawness, he said, came from looking out into a crowd that day and seeing his own fear and weariness mirrored in the eyes of the other black men present. That just made me cry, he adds, because you don't get to see that. Well, now, enough is enough. After almost a decade in the business, after the life-changing, overwhelming, and at times stifling reality of operating within the sprawling Death Star of franchise filmmaking, he is just about done abiding by any old rules. As a certain Nigerian boat captain can grimly attest, and now he's finally ready to let the world know. For Boyega, 2017 was a year thick with opportunity. If capturing the role of Finn in 2015 Star Wars The Force Awakens represented the professional equivalent of an enormous poker win, then this was the period when he effectively staggered to the cashier window with an armful of chips. Having already wrapped Rian Johnson's sequel, The Last Jedi, he also made Catherine Bigelow's Detroit, founded his own company, Upper Room, in order to produce and star in Pacific Rim Uprising, and by spring, he was headlining a revival of bruising American tragedy. Can you scroll that up for me real quick so I can make an attempt at this, title, Wojciech at the Old Vic in London. This era looked from the outside like a career apex, a sort of deft mix of enviable professional projects assembled specifically to torment other young British actors. And so it is a surprise to learn that Boyega looks back on it the way an addict may look back on the days that preceded their arrival at an oceanside rehab facility. It was a weird time, man, he says with a sigh. I took on too much work, basically. There was a lot going on, a lot of noise and a negative vibe. I just overshot it and really took the mickey out of myself by not having enough of a break between projects. He tried to pour out his anger and frustration into his work, telling himself as he carried out a violent murder at the end of each performance of Wojciech that he was actually strangling all the things he suddenly couldn't control in his life. But he felt strung out and spread too thin. He felt that the tyranny of his schedule, the longed-for career opportunities that he had deemed too good to turn down, were disrupting family time, dating time, all of that. He felt really that he had harried the reality of being an in-demand, that the harried reality of being an in-demand actor wasn't all that much fun. At the time, I just wanted someone to punish, he says, but there was no one but me. And there's something else, too, a gnawing doubt about the intergalactic blockbuster that everyone kept telling him he was so fortunate to be involved with. It's so interesting how he had the exact opposite experience of Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley whinging about not having enough work. He did the right thing, as people would say, and sort of threw himself immediately into his new projects and kind of went too far on the opposite extreme and is here to tell us it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Maybe he and Daisy need to have a chat and they can find a good middle ground together. So what changed? Well, there were a number of things which we'll come to that coalesce to provide some answers. But it is at this stage that I should pause to point out here and now, it is hard to square this period of personal crisis with a contented, self-actualized man sitting opposite me. We met on a late July day in the privately booked upstairs of a lightly bougie restaurant owned by one of Boyega's friends in London's St. John's Wood, just as the city edges towards another post-lockdown heatwave. There is an introductory elbow bump as 2 alcohol-free mojitos are ordered. He is a longtime teetotaler. It seemed polite to join him. And time to take in a physical transformation that, in its own way, is as dramatic as the philosophical shift he has clearly undergone in recent years. Mostly gone is the puppyish kinetic figure that many first met during the extended press jamboree of The Force Awakens. Though he will occasionally oblige with a pitch-perfect impression, Boris Johnson garbling evasively at a press conference say, his resting expression is a determined all-business smolder. He now possesses stillness and the gym-thickened build of a Depression-era heavyweight, and there's a high-decibel, pulpit-ready passion and ferocity in the way his sentences unfurl and crescendo with unblinking eye contact. His hair, too, grown out for the past 2 years and worn today, as it is in his GQ cover shot, in tightly plaited swishing braids, is, as it turns out, of almost Samsonian significance to him. Samson and Delilah, for those who don't remember, Samson's power all came from his hair, and when it was cut off, he died. When Blackman, it's great story, historical story, biblical story.
It really is.
There's a lot of great mythos. If you go back into mythology, whether it's Christian, Jewish, Greek, Roman, etc., there's a lot of really fascinating. It's like, there are oldest version of fables in a way. When black men grow out their hair, it's a very powerful thing, he says. Culturally, it stands for something. In fact, it was what Boyega saw as attempts to control his appearance, allied with the smothering feeling of his packed diary leading into 2017, that caused him to question his place in the sausage machine of big-ticket movie making, that made him wonder if there was actually room for someone who looked like him to exist on his own terms in an industry generally built to white standards and white norms. In the continued afterglow of that first franchise defibrillating Star Wars film, he continued to... Wait, are you saying franchise defibrillating in the sense that if you use a defibrillator on something that's already alive, you kill it? Because if that's the sense that you're using it, then I agree. Anyway,
I think that's what he means.
I would assume so, because there was...
This is where Itchy Baka kind of starts in his, because now we're... or maybe it was a little bit old. But so this is kind of when you actually get into Star Wars. So that was all of the build up on his life, and now we're going to get on to Star Wars.
All right. So
there's
Jessi. All right. So in the continued afterglow of that first franchise defibrillating Star Wars film, he continued to notice a stylist he'd hired when he first started doing press, cringing at the certain clothes I wanted to go for. The hairdresser who had no experience of working with hair like his, but still had the guts to pretend, and he decided that he could no longer grin and bear it like a grateful competition winner. During the press of The Force Awakens, I went along with it, he notes. And obviously at the time, I was very genuinely happy to be part of it. But my dad always tells me one thing: don't overpay with respect. You can pay respect, but sometimes you'll be overpaying and selling yourself short. That's a really insightful thing for somebody in his point in his career and in his age as well to realize and say, because I think that's something, it's so funny. It's like we just spent all this time on Daisy Ridley, and he is so much the antithesis of that in his journey, where we talked about her lack of gratitude, making her not realize all the things she has. And it was John Boyega's immense gratitude for all the things he'd gotten that put him. And I actually, it's funny, as we're reading a lot of his journey and a lot of his feelings, I'm relating to a lot of what he's saying. It mirrors some of my own experiences, which is why I always go back to, and I hate this whole idea that only black people understand a black experience, only white people understand a white experience, and this and that, because there's so many universal struggles we all face as people. And his are really resonating with me in a lot of ways. And I've been in that situation too, of wanting to be grateful to a fault of figuring out where to draw that line of, I'm grateful for this opportunity. I want to be respectful to the people who gave it to me. But at the same time, there is a line, just because they gave you this opportunity, it doesn't mean they own your soul.
Yeah. Yep. And once you start, I think, because when you're younger and you get like your first job, it's so exciting. You'll do anything. And it's like, yay, like probably a young teenager, you got your first job, and you might kind of be more willing to put up with terrible coworkers and a terrible boss because it's your first job and you don't know what to do. But once you've been working for a while, you stop, it's like, they're not paying me enough to put up with this shit. They're not paying me enough to put up with this coworker. It's not worth it. Exactly. And so this is what I said in my video, because I covered this, and I said, he is once everyone's contracts are up, they're going to start talking about it, because now it's not to the point where, he could get, blacklisted in Hollywood, especially by Disney. But if he makes enough noise about it, and, especially since he is in that position of, being a black man during our, current time period. And he's not a weak man. He's very strong-willed, which is what I think, if you are a weak-willed person and you're going to cave, you can't do this. I think that John Boyega is one of those people that is so strong-willed and, could be a little hard-headed to where he's going to push it. And I think if he sticks to his guns, they won't be able to blacklist him in Hollywood. And if anything, in this, you read, he created his own company so he could be in Pacific Rim 2, so that movie could get made. Yeah. So he's obviously willing to put his own money where his mouth is and create a company just specifically so he can be in a movie. Absolutely. And you can see plenty of actors or, directors that they didn't want to put up with studios, and so they made their own. And so they'll go out and they'll make their own things. Absolutely. I think he's one of those people that can do that. You can like him, you can hate his politics, you can hate his portrayal of characters. But the one thing that you got to give him is that, he's not a weakling. He's not a weak-willed person.
He's someone with a lot of power and a lot of tenacity. Yeah,
exactly. And you might not necessarily, there's plenty of people that are like that I don't like, and there's plenty of people that are like that in, real life that have done that with their businesses that I do like. Yeah. But it's one of those things about, I might not like the person, but I can respect,
absolutely,
their tenacity in this situation.
And I also want sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out really quickly for people also looking at this, I want people to remind themselves and recontextualize also. I know everyone has a lot of opinions about, the racial issues and the protests and whatnot. Do keep in mind that it is a entirely different animal in the UK than it is here. So John Boyega's experiences with racism are very different than a black man's in America's are. And there's certain universal elements that I think people are hit on, people hit on and whatnot. And that's why obviously the UK felt the resonance from what was going on here. But the climate is very different. So his experiences, when you hear him discuss his experiences growing up as a black man, just remember that it's from a different environment where race is treated very differently. And also that the protests, the nature of the protests, and things like that are different in the UK as well. Also in terms of the level of destruction or not, you're also dealing with a group that's dealt with differently because there aren't guns. So you don't have the possibility of protesters firing on people or counter protesters firing on protesters or police firing on protesters. So it creates a completely different environment. Even when the protests get chaotic, it is a totally different environment than what we're experiencing here. So before you pass any judgment on John Boyega through the lens of what's going on in the US, please consider that. That's all.
And also, I don't think you've met Captain Chokeout yet, but he is a usual guest on the Jack Show, and he's from the UK, and he'll talk about it. He's like, black people in America are completely different than black people in the rest of the world. And he said in England, you get, blacks from Africa and then blacks from the Bahamas and Jamaica. And he said it's very different, and it's like you said, the stigma is different. Just like I know that and I don't like to watch politics and stuff, but I think it might have been who was it? I can't remember, but it was in a live stream and somebody was talking about how when they wanted to diversify London, and this was something that just came on playing like an auto play because I think I was watching EFAP and it finished, and this came on after, and I was in the middle of painting, so I was in the zone. I just let it play. But then it was saying about how they tried to do a census in London to see how many minorities there were, and London is all immigrants, you know, and he's like, the minority in London are you know, actual English people, like white, you know, English people. There's more Black and Indian people in London than there are British people in London, or you know, people of you know, British descent. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that, because I don't live in the UK. I don't know any of that, but it was just a random fact that I learned, and I'm like, wow, and I didn't know that. But yeah, so it is very different over there than it is over here. But I don't like to talk about politics, so let's get back into this and we can talk about the Star Wars aspect of it.
Absolutely. The fun part, the part we all care about. With the Lucasfilm branded elephant in the room acknowledged, it is even harder to ignore. This is Boyega's first substantial interview since finishing the franchise. His first since last year's The Rise of Skywalker, tied a highly contentious, hurried ribbon on the 43-year-old space saga. How does he reflect on his involvement in the way the newest trilogy was concluded? It's so difficult to maneuver, he says, exhaling deeply, visibly calibrating the level of professional diplomacy to display. I love when you can see someone through that moment where they're like, how much can I say? Yeah. It's so fun. You get yourself involved in projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is do not bring out a Black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. He's talking about himself here, about the character of Finn, the former stormtrooper who wielded a lightsaber in the first film before being somewhat nudged to the periphery. But he's also talking about other people of color in the cast, Naomi Ackie and Kelly Marie Tran, and even Oscar Isaac, a brother from Guatemala, who he feels suffered the same treatment. But he is acknowledging that some people will say he's crazy or making it up, but the reordered character hierarchy of The Last Jedi was particularly hard to take. I can agree with that. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver, he says. You knew what to do with these other people. When it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, you know fuck all. So what do you want me to say? What they want me to say is, I enjoyed being part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley. Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows. I'm not exposing anything. He is on a breathless roll now, breaking his long corporate omerta to touch on the unthinking systematic treatment of Black characters in blockbusters. They're always scared. They're always freaking sweating. And what he sees as the relative salvage job that the returning director J.J. Abrams performed in The Rise of Skywalker. Everybody needs to leave my boy alone. He wasn't even supposed to come back. And try to save your shit. Even though he also acknowledges that it was an amazing opportunity and a stepping stone that has precipitated so much good in his life and his career, he's palpably exhilarated to be finally saying all this. The balance of gratitude while still fighting for change. You can be dissatisfied and you can still be grateful. Thank you, John Boyega, for saying this. But to dismiss these words as merely professional bitterness or paranoia is to miss the point. His primary motivation is to show the frustration and difficulties of trying to operate within what can feel like a permanently rigged system. He is trying truly to let you know what it feels like to have a boyhood dream ruptured by the toxic realities of the world. The early life of the boy born John Adediyo Bamidel Adegboyega, okay, has been both eagerly raked over and willfully sensationalized. Born in Camberwell, South London, to Nigerian immigrants Samson and a Pentecostal minister and Abigail. Jesus, you really needed to edit this better. A career, a carer, Abigail, a carer. Sorry. Nigerian immigrants, Samson, a Pentecostal minister, and Abigail, a carer. There we go. Oof. Way too many freaking... Okay. Use a dash, dude. Good job. Sorry. He grew up in Peckham with his two older sisters, Grace and Blessing. Oh, that's such a Black name, Blessing. I know a fencer named Blessing. Thanks to the fact that they went to the same primary school as Damilola Taylor, and was among the last people to see him alive before his murder in 2000. Whoa. Boyega's early interaction with the British press tended to require a kind of active resistance to attempts to neatly frame his story as a case of talent blooming from deprivation and tragedy. There is, in previous interviews, what feels like, in hindsight, like an understandable urge to accentuate the positives of a loving creative upbringing, where his feel for performing soon brought him into the nurturing orbit of a community initiative called Theatre Peckham, and eventually his mentor and friend, Femi Ogun's Identity School of Acting. Right there. I mean, again, it's what we talk about, it's such a difference too. Like fucking Brie Larson talks about how hard my childhood was growing up in the studio that you guys were in for like a fucking year, if that, in Burbank, in this affluent, oh my God, how hard. I'll just talk about how hard it was for her growing up. John Boyega grew up as the child of immigrants in a poor neighborhood. Yep. And all he has to say about it is how grateful he was for the opportunities he had. I mean, such a difference in who you are, or in how you present yourself, and how you live your life. And I think just such a telling difference too, in the work that you get, in the types of roles that look at Brie Larson. For all she wants to be Miss Big Shot and whatever, she hasn't exactly done endless films since Room came out either. It's not like, oh, she won an Oscar and she's been this hot thing. Obviously, Captain Marvel was huge for her and stuff. But outside of that, you didn't see people as soon as they knew she was Captain Marvel itching to snap her up for their next project. I think the next thing she did was a very minor, she played a very minor character in Just Mercy, Meanwhile, you look at a John Boyega type who's nothing but this gratitude and this recognition of what he wants to do, and he's been working endlessly. You can love him or you can hate him, you can like him or not, but you can hear how he talks about his life. It's out there on the record and whatnot, and you can see how it manifests in his career. So that's all. Today is different. Today, whether because of age or the general openness of the post-Black Lives Matter era, he seems more comfortable digging into the specific challenges and complexities of growing up Black on a council estate. He tells me about his first experience of a racist attack while visiting relatives in Thamesmead, when he and his family were pelted with bottles and slurs that he didn't yet fully understand. All I was hearing was monkey and gorilla. Before then, my parents had wanted me to see the world in its best light. He relays the day his father was profiled by the police as he drove. Quote, I remember we were followed home from church and they got us all out of the car, end quote. Oh, and there was the time the Boyega door was punctured with a cutlass following a dispute with some neighbors. What the fuck? A cutlass is a pirate sword, by the way, for those who don't know. What the quote, it was an altercation about a dropped piece of biscuit, end quote. Man, they're fucking nuts out there in the UK.
I know, what the fuck?
Fucking sticking a sword through your door because of a biscuit? Okay. But there are also multiple belly laugh-inducing tales about Samson and his habit of fearlessly banging down every door in the neighborhood if his son was ever late coming home. Whether it was drug dealers or kingpins opening up the doors, he just wouldn't care, Boyega says, shaking his head. This was the multifaceted environment that birthed him. And in 2010, at the age of 18, he was chosen from a pool of more than 1,500 adolescents to appear as gang leader Moses in Joe Cornish's cult South London set sci-fi mashup Attack the Block. It's very, quote, it's very rare that you find someone, especially at that age, who holds the screen, end quote, is how Mcqueen describes the uncanny magnetism of that breakthrough performance. He was a bona fide movie star. Other directors agreed, and in 2014, he found himself brought into the Star Wars fold by J.J. Abrams. Cue his reveal as a conflicted stormtrooper, once known as FN 2187, an absurd attempted boycott, the fourth highest grossing film of all time, and laterally the millions that enabled Boyega to surprise his parents with their own brand new house 3 years ago. Yet again, this is another instance when Boyega seems keen to revise the public record on how something really played out. Whereas he previously responded to the flagrantly racist commentary that greeted his casting in The Force Awakens with bullishness, get used to it, as his since deleted Instagram response posts had it. Now he is keen to discuss the lasting psychic wounds that an ordeal like this leaves. I'm the only cast member who had their own unique experience of that franchise based on their race, he says, holding my gaze. Let's just leave it at that. It makes you angry with a process like that. It makes you much more militant. It changes you. Because you realize I got this opportunity, but I'm in an industry that wasn't even ready for me. Nobody else in the cast had people saying they were going to boycott the movie because they were in it. Nobody else had the uproar and death threats sent to their Instagram DMs and social media saying black this and black that and you shouldn't be a stormtrooper. Nobody else had that experience. But yet people are surprised that I'm this way. That's my frustration. He has made peace with a lot of this now. Following that intense 2017 period, he attended therapy to deal with some horrible personality traits such as anger. But he let this point settle as our mocktails melt to minted slush on the low table between us. And I realized his feelings about the sidelining of people of color in tentpole properties and his words at the Black Lives Matter protests all flow from his specific pain and frustration. I realized it is another characteristic response to a fight or flight moment. And I realized that in the face of both overt and covert discrimination, loudly and proudly proclaiming your culture might be the sanest thing you can do. One day, on the set of Small Axe, when Boyega was still sporting the period police uniform and neatly pruned afro hairpiece of his character, Leroy Logan, a white member of the production staff approached him. He wanted to tell him that, just like the officers they were depicting in this episode, he had been a member of the Met on the beat at a time when racism was even more rampant. He had, in fact, been part of a group of arresting officers who he had seen plant some evidence on a black suspect. And when he told his superiors the truth, he was transferred to another station and labeled a snitch. Quote, he was telling me about that experience, end quote, says Boyega, taking up the tale. And he, quote, and he goes, every day I'm watching you act, I'm watching Steve McQueen direct, and I'm seeing all these individuals from different backgrounds coming together on set, and I'm seeing people properly telling the story that I lived through. So no one can say to me that unity isn't one of the best things when it really truly works. This is a moment that serves to illustrate both the special atmosphere on McQueen's 5-part anthology and the important function it will serve as a timely means to excavate crucial parts of Britain's Black immigrant history. Boyega's standalone film with the BBC miniseries, Red, White, and Blue, sees him depict a black Met policeman inspired to join the force and hopefully change it from within after his Jamaican father is assaulted by 2 officers. Though set in the 1980s, it could scarcely...
Munchkin came in and was like...
No worries.
What is it? What's going on?
Excuse us. Way busy. Though set in the 1980s, it could scarcely be more relevant. And you get the sense that Boyega, who recently wrapped his final scenes with some socially distanced filming days in post-lockdown, relished the opportunity to make something so earthbound and urgent after an extended period making blockbusters with directors whose life experiences differed widely from his. I think that's really interesting. This is something I do like. Rather than trying to make these preachy commentary films, when the directors go back and they find something from the past that is relevant, that is very relevant to today's climate, and they make that and they try to tell a faithful and true story to what happened then as a way to highlight, you know, the differences and similarities between that climate and now. I find that to be much more palatable than when someone tries to make a preachy, like, this is what you need to know about the world you live in piece. Anyway, Steve brought up things I could relate to and comes with a creative mind like I've never experienced before. He says, it reminded me of my happiest days at drama school. Being on set was like I've been given the chance to breathe. McQueen, for his part, relished the fact that the actor wanted to, quote, be put in uncomfortable situations, and they're already discussing the possibility of working together again. Right now, he's dangerous, says McQueen, and that's where I want to be. For Boyega, during a personally transformative period, it feels like the closing of a loop. Not just because it speaks broadly to his plan to use an upcoming tour of schools to promote careers in film and television to children from underrepresented minorities, but also because the depiction of London in the 1980s has brought him to a greater understanding of the city his parents moved to, the daily battles they had to fight for acceptance, the start of his own journey, and his own desire to start a family. Just have to find a lady first, man.
At least he's willing to settle down.
That's right. His mother and father are comfortably marooned in rural Nigeria at the moment, so he's also thinking about when he may next see them and reminiscing about his favorite stories, which brings him to the one about the snatched purse. His parents were in Peckham one day coming out of their car when a man sprinted up beside them, grabbed another woman's bag, knocked her to the floor, and started running away. And my dad, quote, and my dad straight up Hulk, straight up Iron Man, straight up Doctor Strange got to steppin', says Boyega with a broad grin. He starts running after the guy, then he stopped and just screamed, drop it. The guy who was running just dropped the bag. My dad walked up, picked it up, and gave it to the woman. He laughs. I remember thinking to myself, Dad, if she was buff, I know you would have dealt her a snog at that moment if you weren't married and your wife wasn't standing there. Nice. That's cute. Perhaps that's where you've inherited it from, I suggest. The fact that you can't even stand by and watch or stay silent if you're thinking something isn't right. The thought evidently has not occurred to him. He looks momentarily lost for words for the only time during our conversation. Maybe, man, he says, smiling again, the idea bringing a warm glow of realization to his face. Now that you say it, maybe.
Aw, that's cute.
I really love a well-written interview piece because it feels like they're a good writer. And this writer, I think, leans into a few too many sort of millennial button words for my taste. But the way they crafted the story and the narrative around this interview, I've read a few pieces similar. I wonder actually if it's the same writer, because I've read a few GQ pieces that are framed in a very similar way. This writer, I think, does a really good job of cutting to the heart of somebody and asking the right questions, and also being a good listener, you know, letting you know, Boyega really open up and make him feel comfortable opening up. And I think it's testament to a really good interviewer that's able to do that. So.
Yeah, you know, I love doing interviews when I have like my Force Talk show. Like that's my favorite thing to do on this channel. And it's because I really, you know, James Lipton is one of those people that I always admired, not only for his intelligence, but also his professionalism and the way that he conducted himself in interviews. And, you know, I never had any desire to be an actor or an actress, but, well, obviously I'd have to be an actress because I'm a girl, but I loved watching his show Inside the Actor Studio because it lets you know who these people are. And he even says, he's like, I know, you know, who's up for a scandal. I know all of that. He's like, I'm not going to ask them about that because that has nothing to do with the art of acting. And even though I don't really have any interest in it, it was fascinating to watch Inside the Actor Studio, and it was such a good show. And so that's what I kind of based my Force Talks on. And so when people recommend me, because when I finished KOTOR, everyone was like, Anna, go watch this interview. And I watched this interview and I'm like, that was not a good interview. The person was very jumbled. They didn't have questions organized. They had this great guest, and then the person would give their own opinion on something. Like he said, he made fun of, he threw a jab at Mahler without saying Mahler's name. And he's like, oh yeah, I think it's ridiculous that somebody spent 5 hours doing a review of The Last Jedi. And the guy he was interviewing, he's like, honestly, that's not enough time. He's like, you have to understand, like, this is something that people absolutely love. And, you know, I would say like the review would need to be longer. And I was like, whoa, shit. And then the guy completely conceded his point. And he's like, oh yeah, I guess so. And it was not a good interview. But I want to get that guy on my show. But now I'm terrified to ask people that I very admire on my show. Cause I'm like, then you're just going to get hate from the freaking mob. And I don't want to do that to people, but maybe eventually I'll get the balls to do it. But yeah, so what did you think about this? And specifically about what he said about Star Wars?
Well, I think it's really interesting. Like, one reason I'm going to put a lot more stock into what he's saying than what you hear from a lot of other celebrities. Even someone like, I mean, no more stuff's come out. Even someone like blanking out his name, who played Cyborg, who's now you know, speaking out against Joss Whedon and stuff like that. Because to me, it was like really the way he like just wrote something in a tweet or an Instagram post, and then sort of like let me tease you, let me, you know, tell you everything from the way the writer presents him, and then reading the transcript and watching him speak at that Black Lives Matter protest, and everything I've been sort of digesting about John Boyega recently. He has this wiseness beyond his years, and he has this a very real nuance to his the way he presents himself and the way he presents his opinions. And I think it's really telling that he's clearly not bitter, you know, about it, because he's not just slamming it. He still takes the time to be grateful. He still takes the time to express, to point out what Star Wars has done for him and his stock and all that stuff. But he calls like he's in. The thing is, most of what he's saying is stuff I called out myself before even, you know, hearing what he had to say about it. Right from the get-go, I was like, why'd you market me the Stormtrooper character as being so important when he barely does anything in The Force Awakens? He does even less in The Last Jedi. And I don't even remember, he was just along for the fucking ride in The Rise of Skywalker. You know,
and I think Chewbacca kind of presented it better because he got all those Star Wars quotes. And then it's like, yeah, you know, pitch everyone that it's going to be like this, when in reality, this poster was actually the most accurate.
Exactly.
Like, this is actually what it was about. It was Kylo Ren, Rey, kind of Han Solo, put, you know, and, you know, basically, yeah, get rid of Chewie, make Finn tiny, and BB-8. This is what it was about. It wasn't about this. It was this.
And to me,
I even noticed, I was like, Oscar Isaac isn't even in this one. So they made the black guy tiny, and they got rid of the Latino dude.
Exactly. They completely whitewashed it. Plus, you know, yeah, I mean, to me, just even period. When you put out your big poster and you got John Boyega holding a lightsaber on the fucking front of it, I expect him to use a lightsaber. More than just let me pick it up, wave it around like a complete tard because I'm not force sensitive. You are marketing to me a force sensitive character when you show me this. And I'm excited now because I'm like, ooh, what an interesting plot point. You know, a stormtrooper, a ex-stormtrooper who leaves because of a moral quandary and then turns out that he's force sensitive all along and becomes this Jedi. And maybe it was his connection to the force that brought up this, you know, his moral questioning in the first place. And ooh, I'm so excited, you know, to see the journey of an ex-Imperial officer, essentially, or ex-Imperial grunt, really, you know, officer, the grunts, you know, an ex-Imperial infantryman turned Jedi. Like, that was interesting to me. Rey, who the fuck is Rey? Who cares? I've seen, you know, the kid from nowhere become a Jedi already. That's what the entire first trilogy was about. So I expected they were going to go in this different direction with that. And to me, it's, you know, it was such a tease to do that and then yank it away. And then I've talked endlessly. I talked about from my very first review and onwards how The Last Jedi completely marginalizes your minority characters. They literally have diversity corner in The Last Jedi. They take, you know, fucking Kelly Marie Tran and Finn and like, all right, you two people of color, go skip off on your pointless quest that literally leads to absolutely nothing. Where, by the way, you'll meet another non-American while you're out there. You know, another non-white guy while you're out there. Plus, we're going to take also, you know, Oscar Isaac or other person of character and turn him into the butt of the joke, you know, and completely ruin his role and his importance to the story and all of that stuff. It was just so, like, that was stuff. I don't need John Boyega's interview to go, yeah, they fucked over the black character. They tokenized and completely marginalized the black character after shoving in my face for months how great for diversity their movie was. And so when he talks about that, it resonates with me really, you know, because I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yep. So I'm that's not
exactly what everyone was saying. We all said it. And the second that their contracts are up, they're going to start speaking out and they're going to, sorry, Disney, but guess what? You're not the all-powerful being anymore. Social media is a thing. And the second you get don't even give me no press is bad press. If John Boyega goes out and he actually starts campaigning and he goes and he uses stuff like this poster, and he says, this is how they treated me. They threw our characters under the bus. A, B, and C happened. They're not. Here's the thing. Mark Hamill, shut up, because he was in breach of contract because he was saying shit about The Last Jedi when it was coming out. And so he was still under contract, and they said, shut the fuck up, Mark, change your tone right fucking now, or, you know, we're going to sue you, and, you know, whatever money you have, we're going to take everything. John Boyega, out of contract, he's going to be able to talk about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about, and so is Daisy, so is Adam, maybe some of the other actors, and if they have, I mean, especially John has, I think, the biggest case out of everyone, and if he wanted to, he could take them on. And again, he's somebody that started his own production company so he could star in a movie. I doubt, you know, he's going to be afraid to go out and do that again if there's a role that he wants to. And there are so many people in Hollywood that are sick to fucking death of Disney and what they do. So
absolutely. And all this freaking double talk and whatnot. It's man, and I think, like, I don't think Daisy really, I think where she is in her career and whatnot, I don't think she has the balls to stand up to Disney. But I do think Oscar Isaac would get on board. I do think Adam Driver would get on board, you know. I think Kelly Marie Tran absolutely would get on board.
Well, he didn't even speak in the last hour of the movie of The Rise of Skywalker. He's like one of your main characters and he doesn't have a single line. Kelly Marie Tran, oh my God, all she's got to do is say, you guys fucking used me for this cool to do politics. All she has to do is say, you guys made my character be the person that abandoned a child into slavery and freed horses.
Exactly. You know, and then used me as your poster child for fucking diversity, you know, in the aftermath of that, and why racism's a problem, and fucking used me for your talking points, and then practically wrote me out of the last story. So thanks, guys. You know,
and even that one, the one director of The Mandalorian, how they wanted her to be like, oh, I'm this, you know, Asian female director.
Now, yeah.
Fuck that. I'm just a director.
I'm a director.
It doesn't
Exactly.
matter that I'm Asian. It doesn't matter that I'm female. I'm just a director. And she's like, don't categorize me in that little slot. She's like, I don't want to be that. And I'm like,
A plus, exactly, because all the qualifiers just take away from your accomplishment. Is being female, you know, a handicap? Is being Asian a handicap? Does it make it more impressive? Therefore, to add those on? No, it fucking doesn't. I'm a director, just like any goddamn other person. And until we realize that, you know, we're not going to have nice things. We're not going to have inclusivity, and all these wonderful things that all the progressives supposedly want. I mean, you just look at, first of all, the miniseries they're making in the UK, you can't make here right now because you can't have people playing police officers right now. Oh God, a black man playing a police officer. You can't fucking do that. There's no reason this is being made in the UK other than, you know, the people involved. But not that it's a story about that area, but it's like there's a reason that story is getting told, and you're not hearing the same stories getting told in the US right now because you fucking can't, you know. So already that production just happening is doing better than we are here on that. And then hearing that story about the guy who came up to him and told him about his experiences having been a cop, you know, and having that conversation, that's where it is. That's where it is. A white man and a black man sharing, swapping stories and coming to a shared understanding. But we can't have that because white man evil, white man bad. We're not interested in his opinion. We're not interested in what he has to say. We're not interested in his take or letting him be part of the conversation. And the second you exclude somebody from the conversation on the basis of the race, doesn't matter about precedence or history or this or that. The second you exclude somebody on the basis of their race, you're being racist. You're creating division. You're creating tribalism. You're getting further from this world of inclusivity and diversity that you claim to want.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I said in my video earlier today. I would have loved it even if you had a duel where, you know, there might be the main character who is like, if they did it to where the point of view, the main character of this movie was Finn. And then, you know, maybe in the first movie, he's the main character, but then he goes and meets Rey. And so it's kind of that duel, like you're following both of their stories. And there is that love aspect. But if you have a character like him who was taken when they're a child, you know, taken, enslaved in this evil empire knockoff known as the First Order. He's brainwashed to believe everything. He has that moment where, you know, his friend dies, the one that touches his helmet, and that's when he gets snapped out of this hypnosis that he's been under for his entire life. He has been tortured. He has been programmed. He defects and he leaves it. He loses like the only kind of friendish person that he clicks with right off the bat, which was Poe. He runs into Rey, who he's immediately attracted to, and then she goes with her on her adventure, and he wants to help her. Because remember, when Kelly Marie Tran shocks him, he wasn't even part of the rebellion. He can leave whenever he wants. So she's saying, oh, I'm trying to stop everyone from defecting. He was never even part of this. He got stuck into it. So her doing that, it's complete bullshit. But so if he followed, and it's him and her, and maybe he goes with her to go find Luke, and they go train together, but then maybe she's angry because she has that resentment because she was trapped on this planet for years, and, you know, she's counting, and he's her conscience, and he's like, Rey, I know what evil looks like. I lived it. Don't go to the dark side. This is the reality of it, and helps her with her own anger. And even though, yeah, he can wield the lightsaber, because we saw, you know, Han Solo do it, he cut open the tauntaun. So it's not that only Force users can use it. So it is cool seeing him. And maybe he helps her train and learn how to fight. He teaches her how to shoot a blaster. He teaches her how to use that. And they can say, oh, well, it's a man teaching a woman. Well, are you really going to use that? Like, because she's going off to learn from a white man. Yeah, like, right. And that would make sense. He teaches her all the tactical stuff, and Luke teaches her about the Force, and they're both teaching her, and they're both trying to help her. And it's that simpatico kind of relationship in this, and a romance built over 3 movies. And finally, at the end, when she comes to terms with her anger and her frustration from being left, from maybe not knowing all these things that Luke and Finn know, and then the romance is concluded at the end, and they fight Kylo Ren, and he has to actually face off his demons. Like, she's got to go face off Kylo Ren, and he's got to go face off Phasma, not have a useless character that was just made for toys and costumes. Yeah, and you could have had them fighting 2 villains. It would have been awesome.
That would have been incredible. That would have been so much more watchable. It's funny, as you were saying that, something clicked in my head, and I was like, I think I know why Rey ended up being so overpowered to begin with. Because they were so keen on this narrative of what if the Jedi is a woman? What if our main character is a woman and she's this powerful woman? And they realized that the only person who could train her was a white dude, and that's why they made her OP and said she didn't even need Luke or anything like that. They're like, so our powerful woman narrative kind of comes apart when she needs this white guy to train her. So what if she just already knows everything and she's already better than him, because women are always better than men? And then, yeah, it'll make sense, obviously. It'll make so much sense in the way that only wokeness does, which is to say that it makes no sense whatsoever. None. Not even a little bit. Not even an iota of sense.
All right. And we are almost at 2 hours, so that's where we like to keep it. We've touched on our topic, so I'm going to read super chats, and then me and Jessi are going to say good day to all of you lovely people here in the chat. So let me read some of these. That nobody guy, thank you for super chat. Finn had so much potential from Force Awakens. He could have been another Force sensitive in training. Boyega was great in Attack the Block. Now, I have not seen that movie. Jessi, have you?
I have not, but I'm really curious now. I actually didn't even know too much about it. But now I'm curious. That was the one that was his very first role, I guess. And now I'm very intrigued.
And yeah, he did have a lot of potential. If that would have been interesting if he was a Force user, but he wasn't strong enough. Like Rey, maybe Rey, is stronger in the Force than he is. But maybe because she's stronger, but he's more tactical because he has all that training as a stormtrooper. And don't make him a fucking janitor. That they have droids for that.
Exactly. Exactly. I call that from the fucking beginning.
Racist motherfuckers.
I've been screaming about that for 2 fucking years now. You made the janitor almost over 2 years now. You made your black guy
a janitor.
Hired help. You literally made him the hired help. You made him
Not
the
even hired help. He's literally fucking slave labor.
Exactly. You made him the goddamn toilet cleaner. Are you fucking kidding me? This is how we treat our powerful black men. We make them clean fucking toilets.
Mm-hmm.
What?
All right, let's see. Andrew Matthews, thank you for the super chat. Anna, did you ever see the Ready Player One poster? What's up with his leg? Hi, Jessi. No, I mean, I'm sure I saw it, or the poster. I honestly had absolutely no interest. Actually, I feel like I have more interest in finding out the molecular substances on the speck on the end of my shoe than that movie. So I did not look too closely at it. But I mean, if the leg's fucked up, that's got to be, it's like talking about the curtains on the Titanic.
Wait, hold on. I have to share this. It's actually kind of hilarious. I looked this up because I was curious. Can I share this real?
Yeah, share your screen.
It's actually kind of hilarious.
Let's see.
Look at this leg.
What on earth? Does he just have a very long leg?
He's not supposed to. It just...
Did they stretch the poster?
Oh my god. I'm so confused. I feel like the perspective is just way, way off. Because if you look at it, it's like the distance between the rungs is much smaller near the top. I think just whoever did the perspective on this just did the perspective totally wrong. So it's, I think that's the only thing that makes sense. I think that's what's happening because I can't
confused.
I can't justify what is this fucking leg any other way.
Nobody saw that and said, "Hey, this doesn't look right."
Guys,
no one
looks like the leg is as long.
Like even the printing people, I would have been like, "Yo, you guys might want to check your file before this."
Yeah.
That's very strange. All right, let me read all of these. I'll just put this back up so we have something to look at. Let's see. Ben Dover, thank you for the super chat. Funny name, by the way. Anna, Kickstarter is cancel culture central. They are horrible. Well, good to know. I want to see some examples of that, and I think somebody let me know in the chat that they did that to John and your boy Zach, so that's fucked up. The Price is Right review. Thank you for the super chat. Yo, sup, awesome gals. off topic, well, it looks like I'm out for Aquaman 2 since Warner Bros. A pathetic anti-male double standard, letting Amber Heard keep her job even after her case being exposed. F you, Warner Brothers. Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. If you want to go watch the beginning of this stream where we kind of delved a little bit more into it. It's fucked up that they fired that one guy for 10-year-old tweets, but then the whole thing with Amber Heard and Ezra Miller literally choking out some chick, and that apparently gets a pass. This with Amber Heard, it's just, yes, it is very much double standards, but Jessi and I are kind of on the same page, whereas we do not like cancel culture of any kind, and I don't think a person's personal life should affect their work life unless they bring that into their work life. Unless they're going to jail, I don't think somebody should get fired because of something that they did in their personal life.
Yeah. That said, I'm not seeing a movie of Amber Heard's in it, so if she stays in Aquaman 2, I'll be skipping it.
I'm not paying to go see that movie.
No, I might pirate it later, but I'm not giving her my money. Yep.
Adam Wofer, thank you for super chat. Get your interview with whoever you want. Finn should have been the Jedi and Luke train him, and don't have Rey at all. I mean, that actually would have been better. It would have been fine. Or they could have made Rey evil, and her and Kylo Ren were Han and Leia's twins, or Luke's twins, or Kylo and Rey. Kylo was Han and Leia's daughter, and Rey was Luke's daughter, but they were both evil cousins, and Finn had to take on both of them. That would have been better.
Gone to the dark side, absolutely. Yeah, she could have gone. Maybe she could have started out good and been, because been a character that fell to the dark side. Why not?
Yeah, she could have felt the same plot that I was giving, but in the second movie she falls to the dark side, and so the third movie is about him bringing her back to the dark side and then rekindling their romance or something like that.
Because that, by the way, is something we haven't seen before. We haven't seen somebody knowingly, willingly give into the dark side, I guess. Obviously Anakin falls to the dark side and sort of ends up embracing it as a result of his choices and his journey and whatnot. We've never actually seen somebody in a Star Wars movie willingly embrace the dark side like that. That'd have been interesting. There were so many really basic, interesting things that we haven't seen before they could have done with these films without tearing us outside of the reality of the universe, and they ignored all of those in favor of bullshit, in favor of things with no substance.
Yep. Okay, let's read a few more of these. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. Will Mickey Mouse lose his house? But yeah.
Now that said, to go back to, because that came in, we were talking about John Boyega could be the guy to stand up to. That said, a lot of Disney's worth is going to be determined by just how much longer they have to keep their parks shuttered. I mean, we're finding out in the wake of all this just how much they relied on that revenue stream. And so even if they don't get, sunk by all this, even if, they don't get put under by, let's say, vindictive lawsuits punching them when they're down and whatnot, they're going to be a different company after this. They're going to have, recently in their films, and this is one thing, Jeff and I have been reading about more and more and learning more and more about, is like, you can't, they didn't feel beholden at all to their fans to make a good product with their films, because they knew the money was there from the parks. They didn't care if they made money or not on their movies. The parks were bringing in so much more and sustaining them, and they thought, here's a revenue stream that's never going to dry up. Well, joke's on you, coronavirus. Maybe coronavirus was secretly just, a bioweapon created to do Disney in. But when they come out of this, they're going to be hurting. They're going to be in a financial place that they haven't been. They're going to be in dire straits they haven't seen in God knows how long. And it'll be interesting to see how the mouse has to readjust to actually create things that their fans want to see, not just, all right, this will please the popular narrative. Who cares? We're raking it in on the merch. So it'll be interesting.
Yep. And I think now I don't know, I just hope that they get restructured and all of that stuff.
Me too.
I'm going to be talking about this because I think I actually am. I bought Sims 4. I'm a huge Sims fan. I fucking played the Sims. Me and my sisters, we got all the expansion packs. Every time we would go to the store, we would get the new one. I love Sims 2. Sims 3 was okay. wasn't my favorite. I thought The Sims weren't as pretty. EA is a terrible company, that being said, but I think I am going to get Sims and Sims. Well, I already have Sims 4 because they went on sale for like $4.99, so I bought it. And then my computer didn't have enough memory, so I had to delete it off the computer. But I feel if I just log into the account, it should be there, and I should be able to download it.
Did I tell you what my sister and I used to do with our Sims games?
Did you kill everyone?
No, we were worse. We would use the move objects on cheat, which would let you like delete things you shouldn't be able to delete.
Yeah.
So we would build a house, no wallpaper, no floors, and we'd delete the front door as soon as they were in it. And we would force them to build and sell gnomes and paintings in order for to have income. And yeah, it was
terrible.
Special. We were interesting children.
But yeah, so yeah, everyone, I guess obviously I'm not active in the Sims community, but I used to be when I was a kid, funny enough. And I remember like they did polls, you could go down and you could upload mods. So that's when they said, oh, they made a Star Wars expansion pack. I'm like, oh, I had Star Wars back when Sims 2 was out, like in the 2000s. I had Padme's hair, I had Princess Leia, I had Darth Vader, I had all of that shit because people made that. Awesome people made all these mods and you could download it and it was great. I still have some of those mods on my old computer. Nice. But now I'm like, oh, but I was like, I kind of want to try it just because I can use lightsabers. But then apparently everyone voted on it and they gave everyone the exact opposite of what they voted for. So they gave them Bakhtu, which is Star Wars land, and then they made the main character in the trailer looks like one of those SJW sisters from the Clone Wars.
Oh god.
SJW signature haircut.
Oh god.
But I mean, I might get it and then just play it on, Twitch or maybe on my live channel and see how that goes. But yeah, maybe I'll just go through and like talk about how stupid it is. Well, I don't know if it's stupid, but I'm pretty sure based on what I've been seeing from it, it doesn't look that great because it's all the Kylo Ren is not a selling point to me.
Not
let me read a couple of these. Kirk Urin 28, thank you for the super chat, even though you did not say anything. And then you sent another one that does say something. Have you seen the video I did for you on my other channel back in May, appreciating the times you've tied your hair up in a ponytail? Smiley face. It's an appreciation vid. Hope you enjoyed it. You are amazing, heart. Well, thank you. I don't know if I should be flattered or creeped out. A little bit of both. But I don't watch videos on myself. I honestly don't think I'm interesting. And so unless it's like baby videos that have my sisters in it, I would never go out of my way to watch something. Now people send me some videos, but it's usually negative videos that I'm like, I don't care. If somebody's screaming about me, whatever. But no, I have not seen it. I don't watch videos on myself. I'd rather just go watch Frasier again, which is what I watch Frasier every single day. And
what I will say in defense of this guy making this video, as opposed to, the person who was in here earlier sending super chats that were less appreciated.
Yes.
This is something that I've had to come to terms with as well, is there certain things that struck me initially when I found out a fan was like, I did this or I did that or whatnot. And I got like really creeped out at first. And then I thought about like all the things I've done or said about celebrities that I'm interested in and things like that. And I realized that there's like, and it's constantly surprising me. It continues to be, that some people watching do look at us and treat us like that. It's very incredibly flattering because we certainly don't think of ourselves in that way at all. And so I sort of realized a lot of these people doing and creating these things that seem obsessive is like, if they were doing it about an A-list actor, we wouldn't find it obsessive. We'd be like, oh, that's what people do. People just get into their whoever's. And so I'm like, you know what? I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you that you wanted to spend, that much time of your day on something to do with me. So that's how I look at some of this.
that is a good way to look at it, and I never had before. If you're still here in the chat, if you want to tell me the video title, because I don't think you're a mod, so you can't post a link. If you want to tell me the video title, I'll look it up and we can watch it. I get really uncomfortable watching myself back, so that's why I don't rewatch. Like,
if you want, I can watch it first and let you know if I think you'd be interested in seeing it or not.
Well, I say like we can watch it on air. It might be a little weird, but I'm like, because the thing is, it's like, I appreciate the times you tied your hair up in a ponytail. Like that part, I'm just like, how many? There's enough times, or people pay that close attention to my hair to where they made a compilation of me wearing my hair.
Anna, I've had people count the number of times I touch or fuss with my hair in a video.
But see, that's like a fun drinking game. But the amount of times I've worn my hair,
they counted and posted the stats in the thing, and they would also post like, on average, this many hair touches, per minute or whatnot, and stuff like that. Like, people get interested in different, and they would count. I mean, literally, there were videos where apparently I fussed with my hair like over 100 times, and I'm like, you actually counted, you tally marked every single one of those. Like, bless you.
Here, let me carry this over. People want me to share the Perry Chan video. Actually, I need to do this where it's got sound. This is funny. If the person, though, that made that video of me with my hair in a ponytail, I'll watch it. Oh, hold on. My dad's calling me. Talk for a minute.
Words. Well, I'll promote something of my own while we're waiting for this, Savannah's. In case you guys don't know, Pancake the cat is one of my cats. He has his own channel now. He has his very first video. His second one's going to go up tomorrow. He's very, very proud of it. He's very, very cute. So maybe if Anna allows, I'll share it with you. It's maybe just the beginning of it. It's just a 3-minute video. But if you type in Pancake or Pancake the cat, you'll find him pretty much immediately. I actually wonder what's easier to find. If he's more searchable, it's just, if you search for Pancake the cat, he's the first thing that comes up. Should be. And he's super cute. So y'all should go sub to Pancake the cat because I said so. Let me see. I can post the link to you guys, but I've just got to open up a new window. So fun fact, if you're in StreamYard and you are a guest in the show, you cannot post directly to the comment section from StreamYard. So I got to go in, I got to open up the Matriarchy somewhere else. Oh, it's still right up here. Cool. That's cool to know that Anna's live right now. I would have had no idea otherwise. So I'm so glad I have my YouTube homepage to tell me these things. Otherwise, how would I know that Anna is presently streaming? Anyway, there it is. Links in the chat now, guys, for Pancake the cat. It kind of all started. It was very silly. It all started when he used to be Mal, formerly known as Mal, or Malcolm Reynolds the cat, started knocking things down, and then, like you do with cats, you start calling them names. So it started out with like, oh, you're a shithead. Oh, you're a shit this. You're a shit that. You're a shit can. You're a shit dumpster. You're a shit pallet. You're a shit crate. And all this stuff. And then Jeff just goes, you're a shit pancake. And that was hilarious. It's stuck. It's now his name. And then the voice kind of sprung up around this. Actually, Shit Pancake's right there behind me. Looking out the window, are you? Are you doing that? So that's the little voice. He's Shit Pancake. Hello. And it's Jeff in the chat there. It's my fault. It is your fault. And so he's got this voice, and we talk to him and stuff. And he says things and stuff. And let's see. What else? What else about Shit Pancake? I mean, you can watch the video. So I do a cute little voice for him. We do Alejandro Cervantes. What a great time to be eating meatloaf. So we started this voice for him, and it just sort of became this thing. We talk about. I tell you about Shit Pancake's channel because he's got. I posted a link.
Oh shit!
Oh, you all right there?
Yeah. I had my freaking chat open, or it popped up and opened.
Oh, whoops! I realized that.
I know. Well, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, my dad called me to tell me my car is fixed.
Yay!
I know. This is what's convenient about having a cousin that has a shop. But okay, so we wanted to watch this Perry Chan.
Yeah.
So, oh, Jessi, do you know what Turkish mud wrestling
I don't.
Oh, so you're in for a treat. So there's this thing called Turkish. Oh my god, my dad's calling me again.
She said a treat.
Turkish mud wrestling is when you have to lift the guy up off the ground, but you're covered in oil and leather pants, and so they stick their hands in their pants. So I am going. Oh, I realize I'm not even sharing my screen anymore. My dad's calling me back, so he must have forgotten to tell me something. So I've already watched this, but I'll play this for everyone.
Hooray! Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm uncomfortable by this. Oh, my God. Oh my god, it looks so creepy.
See what I mean? It's like this is a real thing. He just put everyone's faces over.
I'm just
my lordy. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that was
face on the guy on the ground. Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Did the person that did the ponytail video? Did they comment in the chat? Yet?
I did not see them again.
The video. Okay, well, if any of my mods know what video it is, let me know, and I can watch, or we can watch it together, because I feel like it would be less weird for me to watch it with Jessi.
Fair enough.
Oh, and then hello, Will. I feel like I haven't seen Will in forever. Hello, Will. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a hot minute either. Big fan.
So
did you get a chance to check out Shit Pancake's video yet?
I have not, no.
It's super cute. If you want, I can share the very beginning if you don't mind.
If you would like to, yes.
So this is what I'm promoting right now. This is my big thing that I care about. So
okay. I have 2 super chats, so let me read those real fast.
Yeah, of course.
Chris Stanley, thank you for the chat. Enjoyed your stream with Jeff last night, Jessi. Oh, and hey, Anna. Well, hello.
Well, thank you very much. We had a lot of fun last night. Tuesday's been kind of a mindless bullshit stream, just kind of me and Jeff having a time. But and if you're ever awake and around on a Tuesday night, you ever want to drop in, you always have an open invitation to my channel. So.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, let's play.
Right. So there we go. Here's the boy.
Oh, baby!
Oh, it's me, Cake, and welcome to my house. It is fun. It's my very first video. Hooray! Hooray for me! Hooray for all of us! Hooray for especially me! And so I thought I guess I'd say some stuff about me. Well, I'm a cat, obviously, as you can see, but I'm also a person. Because my mom and papa, you see, they're people. They're persons, and so I'm persons too. Well, I'm a person, just one of me. Oh, I'm also a macaroni mongoose. Cause see, I got these macaroni penguin eyebrows right here. There they are, found them. And also, you can't really tell, but my legs are very short, like a mongoose. So I got some mongoose in me. In fact, actually, my other name's Mr. Mongoose. So that's Shit Pancake. Just give you a little taste, a little tease of this first video. He's gonna have new videos up Mondays and Thursdays. So his second one will drop tomorrow. That one's introducing Papa. You guys can probably figure out who Papa is.
I saw his actual Papa, his biological Papa.
Oh, was Papa the small? He was kind of smallish. Because I know they have or maybe it's one of their cousins or something that's kind of a smaller cat.
Oh yeah, no, their sister is small.
Sister, okay. He's little like that too. He's like I think he's just gonna be a little cat. I've been like feeding him extra, and he doesn't gain weight. If I feed him extra for lunch or something, he just eats less for dinner. So
let me see if I take a picture. Well, I was holding the runt of the last litter, and she's so little.
Oh, baby.
And so I was hanging out with his mom and like all of the other freaking brothers and sisters that he has.
Oh.
Let me find it. When I was at my dad's house, I just hung out with the cats, and I just would go up and I would just pick up the runt and I just walk around with her because she's so little. And it made me really sad because I'm like, this is kind of the size that Jack would have been. Oh, so here's I think brother and then sisters to your kitty cat.
Aww.
Let me make them bigger. Yeah, here's brother and sister. So this is brother. This one is from the same litter. So this is Ranger. He's actually really small compared to yours, but tuxedo cats are a little bit bigger. And then these are two sisters from another litter.
You gotta see, it's funny because Pancake and Jane were like the same size for a long time, and Jane's now like huge in comparison.
I think then Jane's dad, and Jane's kind of, Pancake has the angular face, right? And Jane has, or the other one has the wider face.
I think
or which one is it?
Face is actually wider now. Because Jane had the little head, but the very like his eyes are very wide, but his eye sockets are very small. So he's kind of he's like cute and like he's like our Benedict Cumberbatch cat, where like he's very definitively good looking, but in like a slightly different kind of way. So Jane's our Benedict Cumberbatch, whereas like Lando's more our traditional kind of Brad Pitt, and Pancake's our weird looking guy. You're kind of weird looking, but you're still kind of cute. You're pretty cute. I love you anyway. You just got a super chat from that guy again, so he does with more.
I just found it, and I gotta say this is very flattering. I'm a little on the creeped out side. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm more so on that right now. So I think me watching it with Jessi, it might make me a little less creeped out. I don't know, dude. Jessi, you can probably. I got this up. We can watch it. If I get, I mean this in the nicest way possible. If you're not trying to creep me out, but it is kind of a little bit. It's a little out of my comfort zone. Let's just say that. Even if Peaches did something like this, I live with him. We've been dating for a long time, but I don't know. We'll watch this and I'll see how I feel.
Basically, there is a fine line between flattering and creepy, and a lot of it has to do with how much we know about it, right? Making videos about the things that you love best about people you enjoy is very flattering. Sometimes bringing our attention to it, even if your intention is just to let us know how much you appreciate us, feels stalkerish, even if that's not your intention or who you are or anything like that. Just, it's the kind of thing, like, it's something you got to remember, like, it can be really exciting to be like, oh, wow, we get to talk to you and you get to hear about these things. But there's a level of separation between people whose entertainment you consume and the people you talk to that can sometimes be good and give you the freedom to explore your passion in whatever way you want without ever making us feel, put off by it or something like that, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, Luke. I see people talking about OCD. I understand that, but it's like, if I don't know you, like if somebody were just, send this to me and I, not having any context to it whatsoever, it does kind of creep, it's a little bit more on the creepy side, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's very flattering, but I'm a little bit, it's a little weird for me. And I see you in the chat. It's no problem. I'm still glad I could still send support your way. Well, thank you. So I don't think you're meaning it to be in a creeper way. Just understand it's kind of hard for me. But, we'll watch it. We'll see how it goes. I hope you don't have any music that's going to get me flagged. Let's try.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we gather. Oh, there we go. We gather. Let me read this. We gather here today to appreciate the absolutely beautiful ponytail of. Oh, thank you, YouTuber user That's Star Wars Girl. Well, thank you. Oh, this is gonna be a trip down memory lane, I guess. Oh my god. And obviously my hair is just like back in a ponytail. I got my little. Oh, I missed my black hair. Oh shit.
Do you want me to read it? Yeah. Before we begin, I'd just like to say that the YouTube uploads of That Star Wars Girl's Ponies are all in the description to go and click and watch, as if I included all her hair in a ponytail videos as well. This would be well over 5 hours. Especially because she did a few cute ones on that Jack Show stream she appears on, and those are quite long. She's done quite a few ponytails in her YouTube videos, and wow, it is amazing when she does. So thank you, Anna, if you're watching, for all of those good times you've shown your hair in a ponytail. The links in the description don't just include when she's done a ponytail with the scrunchie, just Just elastic. Oh, okay. Don't show ponytails in a scrunchie or any of the girls on this channel, as they're not as nice.
Oh, well, this ponytail's in the scrunchie.
So now I feel like I'm getting a glimpse into like a very specific community. But I do think that's really cool of him that he put all the links down below, you know. So
that is nice. And also I will say I get shit on the Jack Show when I wear my hair in a ponytail, so thank you.
There you go.
All right. Did you read all of it? Yeah?
I did. All videos dated before 14th of May 2020.
All right, let's go through it. Oh my.
Anyway, I absolutely deeply love that Star Wars girl's hair in a ponytail so much it makes me feel really, really happy when all of her hair is going into one. It just deserves so much a video put together to thank her for when she's done it. This is a powerful ponytail. A lot of ponytail love. I mean, hey, I guess that for some people.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, this is.
Some people probably like that order, you know, that like, all of your hair restrained.
I think this might be an OCD thing, but I know I am going to send this to the Jack Show.
I was about to say, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it because they're going to definitely, you know, I know
they're going to eat this up. You're going to give us some topics.
Oh, yeah. I might even say, you know, save the rest of it for the Jack Show at this point. I know it's only a few minutes long and stuff, but I really think that the Jack Show is going to have a very enjoyable time with it. Let's put it that way.
I'm nervous. Well, I want to see what the rest of it is,
Sure.
but did you? Yeah, you read it. Okay.
It is a powerful ponytail.
Oh my God.
There have been so many times when I've watched her videos and seen the thumbnail where all of her hair is tied back into something, and that magical happy feeling when it turns out it's a ponytail that's hanging out back there secured with a rubber hair elastic. She is just such a wonderful person. She is so humble, caring about the franchise. She loves to the point that she'll defend it like it was her child, and she stands up to the anti-racist bullies who are mean to her and others in the Star Wars community.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
So this is someone who's clearly a fan of the work as well as the power of the point. Also, heads up, every time you wear a ponytail from now on, I'm going to
I'm going to be self-conscious.
No, I'm just going to tell you that it's a powerful looking ponytail you've got there.
Thank you. Maybe I'll make an emoji.
Oh my God. There are just so many good things to say about this beautiful human being that I wouldn't normally say in a video dedicated to appreciating their ponytail, but I felt it's needed. So if you see this video, Anna, you are amazing. You are great. And your hair when it's in a ponytail is so special. So
thank you.
I think that's really nice. Clearly, you mean a lot to this person because he's someone.
Yeah, that is very nice. I
think that's very sweet. You know, someone.
It is sweet. I'm just. I don't know what to say at this point.
I mean, I think it's very telling that, like, you know, it's someone whose literal channel is devoted, you know, it's called, what?
I love ponytails on girls.
Someone everything is devoted to just ponytails, but he feels that compelled by you, who you are as a person, to say all of these things that have nothing to do with your hair. I think it's very telling as to how great you are. EBS made them because he misses having hair. Oh, my God.
Okay, let's see.
All right, everyone's answering to get to the ponytails now.
Oh my God!
It wouldn't surprise me, due to the beauty and perfection of her hair when it's in a ponytail, that when she generously decides to take out an elastic and do a ponytail, that her ponytail actually becomes alive because of how special it is. And so when Anna is happy, her ponytail sways from side to side as she smiles.
It does.
Now
and I can hit people in the face with it. You go like.
I had a friend. Oh my God, she was in my dream last night. I had a friend growing up who we called her Midget because she was super short. Seriously, her nickname was Midget, and she would tie her hair in a really thick braid and she would whip people with it.
Okay, here we go.
This is like an ode to your. This is straight up. This is like an ode to your ponytail.
I know, it really is. Like
This is-
anytime my mom gives me shit, I'm just gonna send her this video and say, "Mom, somebody made a 2-minute and 42-second video to appreciate my ponytails."
So suck it. I think that tells you, I mean, just how much impact you have. That people care that much about every little thing down to your ponytail. Heaven does exist, Anna, and I truly believe God will allow you into heaven without even being saved because of how precious in your hair, how precious and beautiful your hair tied up in a ponytail with the hair elastic is, Anna. I believe things that are so incredibly beautiful to the point that tears shed from your eyes and end up in heaven, because heaven is a place where all beauty exists, and that's where Anna, aka That Star Wars Girl, will be going with her hair in a ponytail.
Oh my god. Thanks.
I love this. This is the greatest thing ever. Oh my god. Wait, I'm liking this video. I still have it up over here. I'm the first like on it. I know this sounds crazy, but I actually just burst into tears after I looked at another picture of Anna's hair in a ponytail on her secured with a hair elastic after writing that. Her hair looks so extremely deeply beautiful in a ponytail that, yeah, I'm crying out over how beautiful it looks, and I can't stop crying. It's just something straight out of heaven. Her hair in a pony is, and I hope that when I die and I go to heaven, that the first thing I see is Anna with her hair tied up in a ponytail. 100%. It is very powerful and moving.
Thank
Your
you.
hair, your ponytail could have its own religion, it sounds like.
Apparently. Okay. Thank you. Oh, jeez.
But yeah, gotta wipe my eyes right now. That did get a bit personal because of how powerful her ponytail is on her. But yeah, anyway, these are all the photos on Anna's Instagram page of her hair tied up in a ponytail. Again, links in the description of all the positive times she's done a ponytail in her YouTube vids. But yeah, some faces are blurred out in the pics only to show Anna with respect to others in the photos. Look how respectful he is.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
That's very considerate. Very considerate. So let's start. Without further ado, Anna, you are amazing, and many people appreciate your existence and love you very, very much, and always will.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
So true. More people love your ponytail.
Oh, that was Universal Studios in LA. Oh, I was in Idaho. I missed those earrings. Hey, Batman!
Cute.
Oh my god. So this one is funny. Oh, Julia! Oh, my baby! This is the day I got her! Oh, my baby! So, this one, me and Sav, oh, that's who this is. This is Sav. We were going to a birthday party for her, this is actually half up, half down pony. So it's like, you know. But we were going to a birthday party, and there was somebody in front of us that wouldn't move, and we were in a resident, and it was like honking my horn, and then Batman walks. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, Batman's walking down the street, and I was like, what is going on? Why is Batman? And it was just the most bizarre thing, and apparently he was waiting for the right moment to come to the birthday, and then we took a picture, and he said he liked my shirt, and I was like, thank you.
That's super cool.
It's a tulip. She's a little.
She is.
Princess. Oh, skate park. Or
that's cute. That's a cute picture.
Oh yeah.
Nice shirt. These next three are absolutely beautiful as well. They're in my favorites for sure. It's when she went ice skating.
Oh, Ellen might be in these ones then.
I think I remember seeing at least one of them.
Oh, that was at Spectrum.
Ah, cool.
Oh, and I had bangs. That was a while ago.
I've never seen you with bangs.
Yeah. Well, these are on my Instagram.
Well, I clearly have not Instagram stalked you successfully enough. Here is also the only video on Instagram of Anna's ponytail. However, it doesn't show the ponytail itself. She's got a cool face paint, and she was showing it off. But you can see when she moves her head far back enough, you notice she's got a tail back there.
Oh my god.
Obviously, it's not like she shaved her head or anything.
Oh yeah. I have a dragon.
That's cool. Back to the photos.
Oh yeah, that's at the Santa Ana Zoo.
Off-roading.
That's at Midsummer Scream where I show my paintings. I took pictures of wax figures. I was Catwoman.
You know how I have my signature picture face where I look ridiculous?
Yeah.
I feel like the tongue sticking out is yours.
Oh yeah,
We need to do a selfie of us at some point where you're sticking your tongue out and I'm making my ridiculous face.
Oh, there we go. My tulip at the beach.
Honestly, these are my two favorite ponytail pics that Anna did on her Instagram. The second photo I'm going to show is the one picture of her ponytail that I cried over. Lol, wow. It would be so great if she showed her ponytail like this again.
Oh my. Oh yeah, Boise Zoo. I miss those earrings. Tulip! Oh my
So this one, that's, oh wow, OMG, let's look at that ponytail one last time on Anna. Wow. Look at that.
That's not my ponytail.
I told you how her hair in a ponytail is. If I could get, come on, don't let me, we can't miss this great literature. Go back, there's one more before this. We didn't miss it. See, I told you one. It's his moment of being right when everyone else got to see. I told you how her hair in a ponytail is so like something out of heaven. Wow.
Thank you.
If I could give Anna's hair in a ponytail a hug, I really would, to express how much I love it.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave the video there, as that's all the photos of her in her ponytail is of May 14th, 2020 on Instagram. I had a good time making this, and let's hope Anna sees this so she knows whenever she's in a ponytail or ever just shows her magical tail at the back of her head, head off online in general, that it is very much appreciated. And not only that she is loved by many people, and we think you're great, Anna. We really think you're so great. Heart reaches over for a polite hug.
Thank you. Okay, so polite. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little creeped out, but I appreciate the sentiment. It's just gonna take me a little bit to process. Thank you.
I'm leaving the first comment on this video too. So
is there more? Oh, there you go.
Oh wait, is there more to read? Sorry, I was just leaving a comment. I said Anna's ponytail is very powerful, because it is. Let's hope this video really helps others who just wanted to see a bit more of Anna's ponytail now that this video is out. So glad I could help celebrate this absolutely amazing ponytail and this absolutely amazing person.
Thank you. There's more of this video, I guess, but
everyone go, 1, follow Anna's YouTube and Instagram. I agree. 2, go wish her a fantastic day on her channel. You guys heard it, everyone. Wish her a fantastic day. And 3, pray for Anna that everything will just work out in her life and that so much greatness and positivity will happen to her. I agree with that too. 4, Anna, we love you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. I agree with all of these.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Agree with that sentiment 100%. Is that what we leave it on?
I think so.
It is indeed. It's a great way to end a video. I think that's a very telling, when someone finishes, this is his, clearly it's a channel he's made just for his own personal, exploration of his passion. And so he finishes it not asking you to like his video, not asking you to subscribe to him, but asking you to go appreciate Anna. And
yeah, that was very nice. Like I said, I'm a little on the what did I just watch kind of thing.
I love it. That's my inspiration. So
thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just kind of processing it right now.
So in honor of this video, for next week, I'm going to write a poem to your ponytail.
Thank you.
Would you like it in sonnet form or another form?
Do iambic pentameter.
Iambic pentameter. You got it.
Because I like Shakespeare. Speaking of which, I need to do my Shakespeare. Where is it? Here we go. I haven't done it since March, but I'll end the stream on a Shakespearean insult. Let's see. Let me read the last of these super chats, and then we are going to be saying good day to all of you lovely ladies and gentlemen.
And I did notice Kelsey's in the chat. Kelsey, I don't know if you just popped in, though. So before we were looking at Anna's ponytail, we were watching your ass Turkish mud wrestling. So,
yep. Oh, yeah. Kelsey says Jessi needs a ponytail.
That's okay. Here we go.
You kind of can.
I can do.
I forgot. Do you have a widow's peak?
I do, yeah. It's partially interrupted by my childhood scar. But yeah, I have a full-on widow's peak. But yeah, let's see here. We can do a unicorn horn. That's what Jessi can do.
Oh, there you go. I could probably braid your hair back like mine is right now.
That'd be neat looking.
Let's see. Let me read these. Adam Wofer, thank you. You should get the Empire at War with Fan Mods remake version. They have added Thrawn and other factions from EU. It looks awesome. Oh, well, if anyone can let me know where I can find that, I will definitely check that out. As long as it's not a first-person shooter, I can't play those games. Let's see. Kirkin 28, that was the one that did the ponytail. Thank you for another super chat. It's titled "Every Picture of That Star Wars Girl Hair in a Ponytail," and the video is by I Love Ponytails on Girls. Smiley face. You can watch it. Yeah, I hope it's okay, heart. I love you and your video so much. Well, thank you. As you know, we did watch it, and again, I'm a little on the iffy side, but
just said something else in the chat. If I can read that real quick to follow up that super chat. He said, that made me so happy that you watched this. I understand it's pretty out there, but I just had to say what I had to say. It's just an overall big appreciation video for you. You're amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fat Steven Seagal beat up, and it's cut off. So what is the full name?
Fat Steven Seagal beat up who? Fuck.
It was usually Ryan Johnson, but now it's something else.
Yeah. I don't remember who he's beating up now. Let's go with Ryan Johnson for now.
Let's see. I used to have a ponytail, but I sold it for burgers.
Reasonable.
I understand. And thank you for the super chat. And I think this is going to be the last super chat that I saw that just popped up, so let me get it on here. Adam Wolfer, thank you for the super chat. Is anyone else getting Silence of the Lambs creepy vibes from the video, or is it just me? I don't think Buffalo Bill would be making videos like that, because he would be...
he would just be cutting off your ponytail and wearing it on his own head.
Let's see. What's the date today? September
2nd.
September 2nd. So I'm going to read. I have a lot. Maybe one of these days we'll just do a stream where I read these. Okay. So you have to guess which Shakespearean play this is. Okay. And you get extra points. Well, you're Slytherin, so you would get extra points for Slytherin if you got the character that says this. Okay. So this is Shakespearean insult somebody sent to me. Obviously, I've missed a lot of days.
Yeah.
You art nothing but the composition of a knave, beggar, coward, pander, and the son and heir of a mongrel bitch. Whoa. Let me read that again. You art nothing but the composition of a knave, beggar, coward, panderer, and the son of an heir of a mongrel bitch.
It's not Othello, is it?
It is not.
Okay. So it sounds like something that someone would have said to Iago at the end.
It's a history one, though.
It's a history one. Oh, fuck. I give up.
Okay. It is King Lear.
King Lear. Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do another? We can do the one from the day before. Maybe you'll get that one. Oh, yeah, you're going to get this one. Are you liking the painting of sorrow, a face without a heart? Ooh, I like that.
Is that Romeo and Juliet?
It's not.
It's not Romeo and Juliet.
3 tries.
3 tries.
Okay, I'll read it again. Are you like the painting of sorrow, a face without a heart?
Are you like the painting of sorrow, a face without a heart? Merchant of Venice?
Nope. One more try.
Is it a drama, or is it a tragedy, a comedy?
Tragedy.
It's a tragedy. Okay.
Aside from Romeo and Juliet, is his most famous one.
Oh, yeah, but Hamlet.
There you go.
I don't remember. It's weird. Hamlet's probably the play I know the text the best of, but I don't remember that part. But Hamlet describing Ophelia. That's okay. That makes sense.
I actually really like that one.
Because I thought it was going to be about it. I was going to actually go with it earlier, but then it said it's a son of a mongrel bitch. So I was like, oh, that's a guy then, talking to a guy. But why think too deeply about these things?
Well then, and then let me read this last one by DJ Fox. Thank you for super. Turn around and let's see that ponytail one last time. Oh my god.
You got to do a spin. Yeah! Look at that power. It's a powerful ponytail right there.
Except it's in a scrunchie, which the person said they did not like.
Well, I don't discriminate.
Thank you. Now, everyone, the links for all of our previous episodes are actually in the description of this video. I private these and then re-upload them onto my secondary channel, that's Star Wars Girl Life. So go over, excuse me, getting the hiccups, go sub over there and make sure that you are subbed to Jessi's channel, Mindless Entertainment. Let's get her to 30,000 subs because she is at 28,000 and she should be past me. So let's get her above 28,000. Let's get her to 30,000, please and thank you. There's 279 people. If you're not subscribed over to Jessi, go make sure and do it. It is the first link. I believe it's the first link in the description of this video. And then, oh, I see, Mr. Another, thank you for the super chat. I hope you ladies are doing well. Sorry, this isn't more. Oh, don't worry about it. And I know that you're recovering from something, so I hope you're doing well as doing good as well. And then, Jessi, anything you want to plug before you go? Oh, we're all going to be streaming on her channel on Friday, by the way.
Oh yeah. We're actually doing a split. We're going to be doing Jeff's and mine. We did it once before after Spider-Man: Far From Home. A lot of fun doing it. So we'll be doing the boys. Boys come out on Friday. We'll be watching it. We'll be checking it out. And then me, Jeff, Anna, and Cecil are all going to be getting together, World Class Bullshitters, and then popping over to Mindless Entertainment to talk to boys. And then I believe, Anna, you'll be covering boys moving forwards as well, right?
Yeah. Me and Cecil were talking about doing a weekly show because we both like the boys a lot. And originally, I actually can't talk about this, so never mind.
Originally, there was going to be more exciting news, but now there's not.
Exactly. And then let me read this. Dan C, thank you for the super chat. And then now I think that this is the last one. And guys, do not forget, I have a stream later on tonight on Drunk 3PO's channel where we watch episodes of Star Trek. So go check that out. And we do it live, and then he sets it to members only. So we are actually watching part 1 and 2 of the Menagerie.
Yeah.
That's the one with Pike, if anyone missed it. Because originally they had the cage and then they adapted it, and I personally think they fixed it with the Menagerie. I think it's better, but or I like that take on it. But anyways, Dan C, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the ponytail. You are welcome, and thank you for the super chat. Anything else you would like to talk about, Jessi, before we leave?
Just want everyone to go subscribe to Shit Pancake the Cat.
There you go. Everyone go subscribe to Shit Pancake. I can put the link, if Jessi gives me the link, I will put it in the description of this video once it is re-uploaded. And with that being said, everyone, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.
He's not my Luke Skywalker.
What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I have an Etsy store, so if you've ever wanted to own a print of my artwork, this is the place to go. As you can see, I have a lot of recognizable characters, from horror films to heroes to Star Wars characters. Some of the notable characters I have on here are Darth Vader, which I did a couple live streams painting, so you can own a print of this painting. I also have Luke Skywalker, the binary sunset version, one of my favorite scenes in the original New Hope movie. I have Darth Maul, which Ray Parks himself actually complimented me on Instagram. And then last but certainly not least, Ahsoka Tano. So if you want to own any of these prints, go right on over to my Etsy store. Again, that's the art of Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. What's up, everyone? I have a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.